The leaders in BBL SuperCoach are incoming. Running in off the back fence to give you the ultimate insight to help you dominate your mates and climb up in the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight BBL Show with your hosts, Braino and Horse.
G'day everybody, welcome back to a very different type of Insight BBL show. Normally we're here talking about previewing a round, and tonight we're going to give it a crack at some commentary. We've got the Perth Scorchers up against the Sydney Thunder Horse. How you feeling about tonight, mate?
I'm actually pretty excited, mate. So you and I, we've both done a little bit of basketball in the past and what have you, but cricket's a little bit foreign, not so much the playing aspect, as we'll get into later, but to commentate a BBL game here in Australia, something that you know, everyone in the chat here, people on YouTube are very fond of. So we're going to give the viewers at home a little bit of an insight or a little bit of a special type of commentary tonight. It's going to be SuperCoach specific, Braino.
Yeah, I think we sit in a chat most nights during these games and have a bit of a chit-chat back and forth around what's happening. And, you know, we're counting down runs and looking at strike rate bonuses and economy rate bonuses and all that kind of stuff. And obviously we know our cricket. So I think it'd be nice to just tie them two together. So everybody can just chuck the TV on mute tonight and pop your phone next to you and have a listen to us and how we chat about the game and how we look at the game from a SuperCoach perspective. And I think there's a lot going on in this first game of the round, Horse, that unfortunately got abandoned. Do you want to have a quick chat about that? Because there's some big SuperCoach implications to come from this washout earlier today.
Absolutely there is. And I want to point out, firstly, that you've done well, mate. I've seen your side. You're currently sitting in the top 150 in all of SuperCoach BBL, and you've had to pivot away from a gun. So Xavier Bartlett, who scored very well for you, you've had to trade out this week to ensure that you've got a full team on the park for round 5.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, obviously. It was just one of those things that I feel like you had to actually, you just had to do it. And it's unfortunate, but it's a tactic that you have to use when it comes to washout games. We spoke about it a lot in the Patreon, in the WhatsApp subscriber chat. And, you know, we ended up moving guys like Spencer Johnson, Jack Edwards into your emergency slot on your bench so that if the game did go ahead, you could grab their points if you really wanted to. But if the game didn't go ahead like it did, you don't get punished too much. You don't get hurt by losing a player on your field or having to cop another emergency. So, I think there are a lot of tactics that come with it. I know a few people are upset that lockout happens and we don't know what's happening with the toss. But again, that's just another part of the tactics of BBL SuperCoach you have to adjust to.
Absolutely. And now we talk about the players that are missing out on points this round, Braino. So you've got the likes of Spencer Johnson, Xavier Bartlett, for those that held on to the likes of Paul Walter, Matt Renshaw. If you've got Colin Munro, I need to ask you why, because he's been batting with 2 picks all year. Nathan McSweeney even. We look at the Sixers. There's some implications there because a lot of people have gone to Philippi as their sole keeper. That's now going to throw big zeros into some players' squads. Jack Edwards, Benny DeWarshus, these sorts of players. There's quite a few prominent players that are going to end up on donuts in this round, Braino.
Yeah, and obviously with both of these teams having doubles last round, I'm assuming a lot of teams actually have a fair few of the Sixers and Heat players. So that makes it even harder coming off the double, which is a concern for a lot of teams. I'm lucky I didn't load up on Sixers at all. I only have Jack Edwards. So that was a kind of a tactic to fade one of the teams on the double. And as much as it sucked, I managed to get out of it okay. But yeah, it's a tricky situation. So for anybody who did think on their feet and managed to get those players onto their bench or trade them out before the 6:05 lockout, you're probably in a decent spot and can field a full team. But you mentioned Philippi, obviously only having 2 slots at wicket, 2 players at wicketkeeper. Most of us have Doran, and then for those that had Philippi, they're going to cop a donut. Thank God for the flex this year. Yeah, because 100%. That would now give you an opportunity. Your wicketkeeper or your donut wicketkeeper will drop out. You still have your 11 best scorers. It just minimises the room for error now for the rest of the round for these people.
That's right. And as we said earlier, mate, you're sitting 147th overall. Absolutely fantastic. Good by you. But when we're looking at our Insight BBL Unlimited League the league that is ranked number 1 in all of SuperCoach, you're sitting 39th in that league, Braino, at 147th. We've got Tobes' troops in there, Jeremy, who's currently sitting 2nd overall. And in our Patreon or our WhatsApp group, we've got the person that won it last week, Brendan. So well done to him as well.
Yeah, shout out to Brendan. He hopped in the chat pretty happy with himself this morning. And I honestly, I'm not going to lie. I saw my score and I looked through every league that I was in, and I went, fuck, I'm a chance this week to take out the weekly winner, the weekly top scorer. And then I had a look through, and I think Toby's troops got, what do you get? 1146 this week?
1147.
So
yep.
He got me by 8 points. So I'm like, okay, I can't win it. And then Brendan, who is a Patreon subscriber of ours, had 1209, and we're thinking, holy shit, because he's in our Insight Cup League for subscribers. Right. And that is incredibly impressive. Like, I think he had Berendorf and Tom Rogers maybe that I didn't have, and that was the difference between our teams. The rest was pretty much the same. So shout out to Brendan. That is massive from him. And obviously Jeremy as well in second overall is very impressive as well. Let's have a chat about these teams tonight. First of all, obviously with the Perth Scorchers batting first, and with a team batting first in general, does this change your SuperCoach perspective or change tactics in the lead-in?
I guess it's hard on a week where everyone's on a single, but ideally you want your batters batting first and you want your bowlers bowling first, don't you?
That's my preference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, there is tactics involved where you can potentially, if you've got a good team that bats first and always puts up a good total, you probably do want the guys that are bowling the upfront overs and the death overs as well. Mm-hmm. So, bowling second is an advantage at different times in different games, but I'd rather the certainty of knowing that my bowlers are going to get their full allotment of overs.
100%, mate. Yep.
Got tonight, a few questions in the chat. We can probably quickly answer around VC.
Yeah, while you're looking at that, I was actually going to ask you about a VC, mate. We were speaking earlier today, and I mentioned that I was looking at VCing Cooper Connolly this evening. That has only strengthened the case now with Ashton Agar out. For you, I know you like taking a punt. So, Finn Allen.
Fuck, here we go.
Yep. Which way are you thinking, mate? What do you want to do tonight? Perth at home, and the way that they play at home, they're very strong. You'd be a brave man to back against any Perth player tonight.
I was very tempted to get Lance Morris tonight, to be honest. I think everybody's getting Chowdhury, everybody's getting Jordan, everyone's getting Wes Agar, and they're all good choices. They're all good options. Mm-hmm. Looking at Lance Morris, I feel like he's slid under the radar a little bit. He's that kind of Spencer Johnson high upside kind of guy. Bowls a lot of dot balls, gets the ball through quick, bowls really well at Perth as well. He has a 6 break even as well, which I think has flown under the radar even more. He won't lose cash this week, even if he has a shocker. 128K he is. So for anybody looking for a super pod and someone that, you don't really care, maybe you're a fair way behind in the rankings and it doesn't bother you too much how he goes, Lance Morris could honestly be that kind of rocks or diamonds guy that gets you 120
he
tonight.
Could be. Yep.
So I was very, very close to going Chowdhury to Morris. If Perth were bowling first, I would have been tempted a little bit more, but the fact that they're batting first just now probably creates a little bit too much doubt for me to make that move. And I think I've just got to bank the cash in Chowdhury this week and maybe take a punt on a pod next week, because I know Damien Maher, who's done really well in the past, is looking at a Shafane Rutherford at 70K next week or something as a super pod, which could be fucking huge if he pops off in one of these games.
You know what? That's actually it's a really good point, mate, because you could effectively, you're not going to lose anything if you go Baisley to Shafane Rutherford and you've got a free loop.
Yeah. Super cheap. I'd be very surprised if we're not talking about him at the round preview for round 6, because I know that he's been terrible and he's been batting with something out of Colin Munro's kit bag, but it only takes one knock. And we saw this with Finn Allen, didn't we? It takes one knock and you're back in form and you start seeing him like beach balls again. It'll be very interesting to see how you go with Finn Allen tonight. I don't have the balls on me to do a Finn Allen VC Connolly. And I think a lot of people have gone with Cooper Connolly. I think he is the most VC'd player in the top 1% at the moment, but it's only 22 or 23%.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've also got Jason Berendorf at around that 11% marker as well for VC. Let me quickly bring it up. I'll quickly check while we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the teams running out onto the field now. Do you want to quickly talk changes from these squads, Horse, while I look this up?
Yep, I'll just have to get them up on my phone, but there's no Inglis. Inglis is out with a calf, so Matty Hurst will keep. Ashton Agar is out as well. Who comes in for Agar? I didn't actually see.
Spores. Matty Spores is in. Yep.
And for the Thunder, very interesting, mate. Blake Nikitaris is opening the batting. 39K, I believe he is.
Yeah, very super cheap rookie kind of player.
Don't get sucked in, ladies and gentlemen. This might be his only game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to play that. I saw Gilks has been named at 5, I think, today, which is interesting. They've obviously, we'll quickly go through it before the game starts. They've got Warner and Nikitaris opening the batting bangers, Bancroft at 3. It looks like Billings is going to bat 4, Gilks 5, Shafane Rutherford 6 tonight, and then you've got the bottom 5 as normal. So very interesting. But we've got Finn Allen here opening up with Matty Hurst as normal here for the Perth Scorchers. Lockie Ferguson has the first over. No changes really so far. It'll be what's your prediction before things start? How do you see this playing out?
For the AFL people in the chat, I'm going to go along the Alistair Clarkson line here, and I'm not sure about the long sleeves on a fast bowler. Like, he doesn't like long sleeves on his players. It doesn't look right. But anyway, my prediction: Perth to make, let's say, 175, and the Thunder to be rolled for about 140.
140. Shit. This wicket looks pretty good. I reckon the Thunder can do a little bit better than that chasing, but I think Perth are going to be too good. I think the Thunder are better than they have been in previous years, though.
They are.
So, no Josh Inglis for the Scorchers. I think they're not as strong as they have been in past years either. But in saying that, they'll still be too good. I think we're looking at probably 180 plays 160 tonight. And I'm hoping we do, because we'll have something to talk about.
For sure.
But we've got Hurst here facing the first ball. Lockie Ferguson comes in. He's been bowling those big hooping in-swingers, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. And that's how he got Finn Allen in their first game. I'm really concerned that he opens that front hip again and gets done left peg.
You know what? I was actually going to shout this out, mate. It's good that Allen's at the other end. If Hurst just sees off this first over and allows Finn Allen just to get his eye in at the other end against Daniel Sams or whoever's going to open up, where's Agar even from the other end, potentially this is going to be better for him. We've seen that Finn Allen struggles with the ball coming into him. As we see Lockie Ferguson charging in for his second nut. Bit of bounce in the deck. Nicely played, nicely fielded down at deep fine leg by Wes Agar too.
It looks like one of the best pitches that you're going to see in the BBL. I think when you see this, there's a little bit of grass, but not really that much. It looks hard as a rock, like a bit of a bloody freeway. It's going to be tough. You might see the ball hoop a little bit early on. We always see Lockie Ferguson, regardless of the conditions, he swings the ball. Mm-hmm. But I think that this is going to be pretty flat and pretty nice to bat on. You can see that really nice, even thin covering of grass on the top of the pitch. And what that does is creates extra pace off the wicket. So it's not one of those real dry, dusty wickets like we saw at Marvel last night, where the ball holds up in the wicket and it's really tough to bat on. You're going to see the ball come onto the bat here tonight, I think. So
you're talking about with that coat of grass, it sort of just skips on a little bit off the top of the deck?
Yeah, it allows the ball to skip on. And we see Finn Allen, back foot defence. He was watching that ball nice and close, wasn't he? Making sure that he didn't get done through the gate again like he did last time. And I'm very thankful for that as an owner.
100%. I don't own him, but I want to see him do well. We shouted out the 50 that he made last week. Mm-hmm. For your sake, mate, I hope that he does well tonight and we see some more green arrows for you. I'm worried here, as we see Ferguson charging in for his fourth rock of the over, something that's pitched up, swinging into him.
Yeah. There it is.
As we see, that's exactly what happened, and he's waiting for it.
And I think that the difference between the way he played that one and the way that he played the first one, I think he got kind of, when he hit that first ball for 6 and then got done by Adam Milne in that first game. And he got out exactly the same way, but played inside it. He definitely got his head over the ball a little bit more with that one. He got his foot to the ball, pitch of the ball, and went across with it. Head down over the ball instead of coming up a little bit too early, looking to whack the cover off it.
Spot on. You have a look at that replay versus the replay of when he went out to Lockie Ferguson in that first game, and his foot is across to the ball. He didn't try to swing too hard. That was really nice. As we see him charging in again, just playing that down into gully. 1 ball left of the over, 5 runs. Ferguson will be okay with this. It's not a wicket over as such, but he hasn't gone for too many runs.
Let's go back to the long sleeve comment, Horse. What's worse, a fast bowler with long sleeves or a wicket keeper with short sleeves? I'm going to say a wicket keeper with short sleeves. It's just
I'm
the
going to
most
say a fast
village
bowler
thing
with long sleeves.
Nah, not a fucking chance. A wicket keeper with short sleeves is the most village thing you'll ever see on a cricket field.
Oh, that's not edge, is it? No, like he's just played and missed with his non-existent footwork right in the mix there. So the first over's done. Ferguson 0 for 5. He's got a couple of dots in that over, so he'll score 4 SuperCoach points, and Allen is on 4 at the moment.
We've got Paul Templeton in the chat. He's got the VC on Finn Allen. He's a man of taste, I can see. Jasper is pretty keen for some runs for Finn Allen as well, and IJ is just going against everything I say because he wants him to get out.
Of course. He's just looking for a reaction, old IJ.
Yeah, that's it. It's just that's what you get with IJ, but it keeps me on my toes, you know.
Yeah.
But that last ball was 147.9 clicks.
I was about to say that. That's really ripping through.
Yeah, and you'll see it's hard to find that kind of pace when you're bowling on a wicket like Marvel or a slower deck like the Showgrounds and things like that, where Sydney play most of their games. So, you know, places like Manuka are usually a really nice batting pitch, and now we've got Wes Agar bowling the second over, who I think will probably send him through at that low 140 mark as well, as Matty Hurst plays that one back to gully off the back foot. They're starting quite slowly, Horse. Pretty, you know, they're watching the ball a little bit harder. They're not going too hard at the ball. Do you think that this has been something maybe that has been a focus for them, is just not throwing their wicket away so early and giving them a chance to build an innings?
Yeah, I think you're right, Braino. And just having a look at the speed gun, 130 clicks for Agar, that's almost like a slower ball. So whether that's just a warm-up ball before he gets right into it, but yeah, I think they're just going to have a couple of balls here to see what Agar's doing off the deck, and then they'll look to start. They won't go over the top accelerating, but as we see here, that's ducked in off the deck, straight into the guts of Matty Hurst there. 1 off 4. He won't be particularly worried by that just yet, but once it starts getting to the end of the power play, if he hasn't started to accelerate by then, look for him to start upping the tempo and taking some more riskier shots.
Yeah, I think we've seen Matty Hurst probably start pretty poorly, to be fair. He hasn't really got going at all. He hasn't found really any sort of form up until now. He's playing on a beautiful pitch, and for the most part, he's looked pretty ordinary. So it'd be interesting to see whether he can find some form in this game as he works one off his hip there for one. Because, yeah, he's been a little bit disappointing. I know that he's got big raps over in England, and, he's been pretty slow. So we'll see if he can shake off that Pommy start slow in the BBL tag with his mate Ben Duckett, who's definitely shaken that off nice and early.
If there's anything like for the rest of this over while Finn Allen's on strike, like Agar's just bowled to Matty Hurst, if it's up underneath his armpit, it is going to disappear over backward square. That's my tip for the rest of the over.
What's going to get Finn out? Where do you need to bowl to him to get him out here? Because
a good ball. I think early on, it's the one that comes into him.
Yeah.
So if Wes Agar, I guess, bowling from wide of the crease and then sort of angling it in towards the stumps and then using a little bit of in swing just to create that angle, I think that's what's going to get him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's been pretty...
As he just puts it there and it's safe.
KO is buffering, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So basically, short ball on the hip. He's mistimed it, and it's fallen short of deep backward square leg. They've run 2.
Okay. Nice. I've just got to reload my stream. It'll get there eventually. You can keep filling me in on what's happening. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that he's probably covering leg stump a little bit more than he did in the first game. The first 2 games, he got found out by those in-swingers from Milne and Ferguson. So I'd be very surprised if he gets skittled there again. But there, you've got to watch out. If you're overcompensating for that, you've got to watch out you don't fall over your leg stump and get hit in the pads.
Yeah. As we see Matty Hurst, a massive wild swing outside off. Oh, he was 6 inches away from that ball. He was nowhere near it. As Agar actually gets a bit of movement away off the deck with that ball.
Yeah, right. It's a really good day for KO to actually shit itself for me, which is just fantastic. We'll be right.
Basically, just envision you coming in off the long run bowling at your 3-year-old son. That's what that looked like. Matty Hurst had no idea. As we see Agar running in for last ball of the over, pitches it up. Matty Hurst just defending on the front foot. Pretty poor from Hurst so far. 2 off 7 balls. Allen's 5 off 5. Scorchers at 0 for 7 off 2 overs. Thunder will be really happy with that. You reckon Lockie Ferguson's going to go with another over, or do you think they do the Chris Green special and keep rotating the bowlers around?
It seems like a lot of teams, and this has been happening for a while now in T20 cricket, and the reason for this is purely off the back of not letting the batsman get used to a bowler for too long. You'll see one over spell. Moses Enriques did it really well for this pretty much every game where they have a lot of success by just continually changing things up all the time. Just not letting the batsman settle in and get 12 balls in a row from a bowler is massive. So I'm thinking a lot of other teams are catching on to doing the same thing because it seems to be working.
Yep. Border Athletics here. Anywhere on the pitch, usually good enough to get Finn out. He's not far wrong.
Yeah. What's your mouth out, please, Border Athletics?
Finn Allen backs away and slashes it over cover for 4 runs. So nice start to the over there for Finn Allen. 9 off 6. It was just short, and it just sat up over middle stump there, and he's just rocked back and over off stump, sorry, and he's just rocked back and put it over cover. You'll be happy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's gone back foot. He's hit the ball up on the second level. Finn Allen off the back foot. That wasn't even that short. That was probably mid-pitch. He could easily play back to that, but it definitely wasn't anywhere near as short as what he made it look. And he's hit that one very long for 6. Right into his wheelhouse, isn't it? There on that kind of left shoulder, nice and short.
Braino, get Foxy out. How fast Foxy going?
Yeah.
Here he is.
No. Calm down, Junior.
89.
86 metres. I don't know whether Lockie Ferguson is going to be too stoked about that as we see Finn Allen punch one down the ground and they take, or they don't take 2. 2 was probably on there and they take the 1.
You want to try and keep Finn Allen the way he's hitting the ball on strike. Someone should let Matty Hurst know that it's a 2020 and not a Sheffield Shield game because strike rate's pretty ordinary at the moment.
Yeah, the old 2 off 7. You know what? He gives a fuck. It doesn't matter. If Finn Allen's going to hit a 200 strike rate, you just let him face the balls and Matty Hurst can just anchor the innings there at the other end and get him on strike. The issue is he's not doing that. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches this moving forward.
I know you've got Finn Allen, mate. As we see Matty Hurst backing away, slicing over the back of backward point, and that's gone for 4. So good over so far, 4, 6, 1 and 4. What's that? 15 off the over already with 2 balls remaining. Those that own Lockie Ferguson will not be happy with this. Braino, I know you've got Finn Allen. With the washout with round 1 and the players you've had to sell, are you still able to loot Finn Allen if he gets a decent score here?
I had to move Finn Allen onto my field. So I've got his score regardless. So initially I was going to loop Finn Allen in because you never know what's going to happen. But I had to move Jack Edwards to my emergency spot at bat and had to have Spencer Johnson emergency at bowl. So basically that forced me into playing Finn Allen on field this week, which is fine because at least I get the score rather than the Jack Edwards donut.
Yep.
I could have taken the risk and had Jack Edwards on field and still end up getting Finn Allen's emergency points because he got a DNP, but it was just a little bit too much risk that they got on for a couple of overs and then it didn't constitute a game and then we end up with a Jack Edwards 2. And then I can't end up getting Finn Allen's score off the bench. That's probably the reason why I swapped them at the last minute because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get caught with a really shit score that I couldn't get out of, basically.
Yep. As we see, Ferguson 1 ball left, 0 for 20. Won't be overly happy with this start. He was only none for 5 off the first over, but this second over of his, the third over of the innings, has gone for 15 so far. Maybe look to see Matty Hurst try and take him on again here.
Nah.
Swing and a miss.
That shit ball on the leg stump too. He got away with that, but a bit of a slower ball that he got wrong and Hurst didn't pick it up anywhere near quick enough, I don't think. But 3 over 22, I think a nice little claw back there, and it only takes 1 over at this level, doesn't it, to bring
it does
their favour.
What do you see the Thunder doing now, mate? Do you think they're going to stay with pace and stay with Wes Agar, or do you think they're going to go to a Chris Green or a young Andrews type of operator for the last over of the power play?
Chris Green's been known to bowl the 4th over.
Yep.
I think they do it here. Look, you know what? I don't hate the idea of bringing him on to bowl this second. I think
with the ball.
Yeah, and again, that's probably the other option there is to bowl Daniel Sams. They've been using him a fair and leading into the death overs rather than the new ball, where he used to bowl with the new ball a fair bit exclusively over the last few seasons. So whilst I don't mind it, I think what we're going to see on this wicket is a lot of either Yorker attempts or we're going to see a lot of off-pace stuff just so that you're making the batsmen create their pace on the ball. Just bowling at a normal pace on wickets that are this flat is just
as we see Finn Allen just go bang over deep long on, another 6, baby, and you've got your strike rate bonus already, Braino.
Thanks for coming. again, he just proved my point, didn't he? He bowled one on pace in the slot, and that's just going to go the distance in games like this. You've got to bowl off pace. And he bowls really good little off cutters and slow balls, and he's quite tricky, Daniel Sams. So, for me, he needs to utilise that a fair bit against Finn Allen.
Yep, absolutely. Poor start by Sams, but you know what? If he drops even more coin, he'll be even more enticing next week, as he just a little bit shorter of a length, but still in that same area over the top of leg stump, and he pushes to wide mid-on for 1. So
it's the 4th over, right? They're only allowed 2 out of the ring. So it's the last over of the power play. In this situation, do you think it'd be up to Matty Hurst to really push the pace here, or do you just tell Finn Allen to keep going and get him on strike?
Well, we speak about someone being able to play that anchor role with someone like Allen if he's going to try and keep him on strike. But with a deck as good as this, it's not doing too much off it. If Warner gets on, you're going to need a big score. So I'd be more inclined to just go both, as we see Matty Hurst lift one over mid-wicket, falling just short of the fielder out there at Cow Corner. They've run 2. So that's none for 31 off 3.3 overs now. Nath, I know you were more of a bowler. You were a batsman growing up. But if you're in this situation and you were Matty Hurst, are you looking to be the anchor, or are you looking to be just as aggressive? Or are you looking just to turn the strike over to try and give it to Finn Allen a little bit more?
I think in the first 4 overs, both jobs of the openers is to push the pace as much as possible in this format. Where then once you're at the power play and you can easily get singles, I think it's your job to get off strike while Allen's firing, and then you readjust if he does get out. If it were me, I'd keep going for the first 4 overs while you got 2 in the ring. Otherwise, there's no point, just trying to kind of survive in that period. You both got to go pretty hard now.
For sure. As you do a quick SuperCoach update, Finn Allen is already on 47 points. Matty Hurst on 6, Lockie Ferguson on 6, and Wes Agar on 4.
Good little start. 5th ball for Sams. Again, over backward point. Definitely didn't get anywhere near as much of that as he'd want. There's no feet there really either. I think Samsy had really back himself here against Matty Hurst to nick him off, to get him out. I think there's every chance there. Just we're seeing no feet. We're seeing the bat kind of splayed outside off. And he's done that 3 or 4 times now in his innings. He's just made it to double figures now off 13 balls and just hasn't really looked good at all. So I'd say that there might be, and if I was the Thunder, I'd be trying to get Matty Hurst on strike, and I'd be trying to give him a single here as much as possible. And he's taken him on over a bit of mid wicket, and he'll get another 2 runs, and then Finn Allen will be on strike for the next over. Yeah.
So 35 runs off that power play. Who would you say is in front at the moment? Scorchers?
Yeah, just because they're none down. It's the Scorchers are in front. You've got to take early wickets against the Scorchers. If you let these guys get going, it's going to be really tough, especially with the batting depth that they've got. It's not as good in this game, of course, but Cooper Connolly's been he's got the yellow cap, doesn't he? He's got the most runs in the BBL. Yep, so you could do much worse than have Cooper Connolly. And then Aaron Hardy coming in at 4, who hasn't been
Turner's in form too.
Yeah, Ashton Turner's hitting them really nicely. Matty Spores can hold a bat at 7. And Nick Hobson's probably in the form of his life as well, the finisher over there for Perth. So their top 7's pretty solid. Then you get into the bowlers. That's probably where you'd fancy yourself, but it's kind of rare that happens.
As we see Tommy Andrews be brought on to bowl the 5th over. Braino, you're a spinner growing up and playing at some good level cricket. If you're bowling in this situation and you're bowling at someone like Finn Allen, what sort of a field are you setting?
At Finn Allen, he's going to hit it wherever he wants to hit it. I think I'd probably just back him to play against his own ego a little bit. I know he'd want to go at me a fair bit. So we see Andrews there, dart one in kind of wide of the wicket, trying to get the angle into Finn Allen's left leg stump, which I think is probably the tactic for a lot of the time. And you'll see Zampa do it quite well. He bowls on the hip and he gets him through quite quickly.
Does.
So I think for the most part, you'd be trying to get him through pretty quickly to Finn Allen, and you'd be trying to limit the amount of arm swing that he gets and freedom by trying to cramp him into his hip, onto his leg stump. Obviously, as a leggy, that favours me a little bit more as I spin the ball away from a right-hander. Yep. So darting him into leg stump and being able to turn him away is the advantage there, I think. Yeah. I would imagine when Chris Green bowls to him, what he's going to do is very similar. Would be he'd bowl around for a right-handed off spinner, and he'd dart him into that kind of leg peg, which we'll see. We'll see how right or wrong I.
Yeah, gotcha.
Be surprised if he bowls over the wicket to Finn Allen.
Good little start here by Tommy Andrews, being able to keep them to just 3 singles for the over. It's not much for SuperCoach, but it's good to sort of stop the bleeding, so to speak, for the Thunder and trying to rest back some momentum. So as we see here, 4 singles off the over. I reckon one of these 2 balls now, they're probably going to look to go large. I don't think Perth will be happy with just 6 singles off the over.
Finn Allen's gone over backward point, nearly caught, just out of reach of Shafane Rutherford. And if there's a guy you want to hit the ball near, it's him. We were calling Josh Brown mudguts the other night, but I tell you what, Rutherford's probably mudguts 2.0, the way that he's been playing lately. We've got a question from Epic Checker 10 in the chat as well. Do we get emergency for a washout? The fact that there wasn't a ball bowled in this game means that you do get your emergency, and all of the players in the heat and sixes will be DNPs. If you bowled 1 ball in that game, everyone gets a donut. So not good. But in saying that, everyone gets away with it a little bit, I think, by having that DNP instead of having a copper game that got called off. For sure. As we say, Scorchers number 41 off 5, so 15 overs left. Not a bad start. Probably like to see Matty Hurst 15 off 17. For me, he's probably got to start to get a wriggle on now. You've got plenty of batsmen in the shed. Yes, they've got a good platform here, but just knocking ones around the park, it's not going to get the job done on this wicket. You said earlier that it's a really nice batting wicket. It's flat. It's nice. The ball's coming onto the bat really well. Nothing under 180 is safe here. No, I think you need 180 on this pitch, and I think they'll find it pretty easily with the way that they're batting, unless there's a big collapse. They've got to get through Connolly and Hardy and Ashton Turner, and that's, a pretty good top 5, probably one of the better top 5s in the comp. Got a SuperCoach update. Finn Allen moves to 50, and then the next closest is Matt Hurst. He's on 13, obviously, or 15 now. Yeah. And we've still got Wes Agar bowling his second over here, and he's on 4 dots. Oh, nearly played back onto his stumps there, inside edge down a fine leg. Yeah, Matty Hurst is struggling here. But Finn Allen back on strike. As an owner of Finn Allen and an owner of Wes Agar, Braino, how do you feel about your players going head-to-head here? Yeah, don't like it. Never like it. It's and look, there's merit to actually try to avoid it as much as possible, really, in these games. Like, especially in double round games, nearly impossible to avoid it in singles. But you don't want your double players playing against your other double players. And we saw that a couple of times in the last 2 weeks with the Heat and the Sixers playing against each other in the final game. Was it the Renegades? As he goes down the wicket there, Finn Allen, and whacks it back over his head for 4, moving to 30. Playing your double game or having your double game team play against the other double game team always steals points from each other. And we've seen that a couple of times recently, haven't we, in the last 2 rounds? Well, specifically yesterday with the Strikers versus the Renegades. Yeah, that's right. If I'm lagging a bit, I'm going to try and sort it out. Just give me a second. No, you're right. As we see Finn Allen here facing up against, that's wide down leg and called appropriately. So Wes Agar probably just trying to do, I wouldn't say too much with the ball, but just trying to get the ball into Finn Allen's body and just going a little bit wide down leg. For Finn Allen, he was 151K to start the year. Started off terribly, didn't make it outside of the first over 3 times in a row. And we see last week he gets dropped and then onto a 50, and now he looks unreal, doesn't he, Bruno? So good. Yeah, he's such a big dude as well. He's a monster, isn't he? He's a monster. Was it round 1 when they played the Stars, as we see Wes Agar running into bowl, down leg, and it's saved by short fine. Lockie Ferguson there. So, yeah, definitely. And you can see they've taken the tactic of trying to bowl slow, back of a length into his hip, just to limit the amount of kind of freedom that he gets and the amount of kind of backswing and room that he can give himself. Yep. The hard part here in this situation is he's quite good off his hip too. So, he's got to be one of the hardest guys to bowl at in world cricket, I reckon. Oh, unreal. As I was saying earlier, he walked past Marcus Stoinis, and Stoinis is not a little lad and was looking over the top of him, wasn't he? Yep. Yeah, good viewing. As Matty Hurst,
picks one up straight down the ground. The cameraman made that look a lot better than what it was. It's fallen about 20 metres inside the boundary, and they've scampered through for 2.
He looks like he must have borrowed a bat from Colin Munro recently. Him and Colin Munro have caught up recently, and he's gone, hey, try this stick.
Yeah.
No good.
It's like the old under-12s here. You can borrow my stick, mate.
Yeah, you got the communal kit there if you forget your gear when you're in under-10s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. As we see, they've brought up the 50 partnership, and Matt Hurst has just popped one straight up in the air, and miscommunication has allowed that to drop. Or is there a run out? No.
They duff a run out too. Awful cricket.
As we said, the replay here, I'm not sure either of them could have got to that, to be fair.
I think IJ asked me, where is it in the chat, why I gave up cricket. It was just one of the, I think eventually when you stop enjoying it as much as what you're used to. Like I lived and breathed cricket since I was like 8 years old. I played 2 years of under 10s and rep cricket from under 11s all the way through emerging blues, state stuff. Got lucky enough to play for Australia in a couple of different formats. Finn Allen top edges one
straight in the air.
And it's very high, tough catch, and the wicket keeper calls it, drops it, and it goes for 4. Holy shit! That is just a comedy of errors over the last 2 balls here.
If that was at Marvel, that would have hit the roof.
Finn Allen could have been run out the last ball. And then he's also now been dropped and he's gone for 4. Like if this isn't the game where Finn Allen just goes bang and scores 150 SuperCoach points, I don't know what is.
Unreal.
Crazy.
But anyway,
crazy.
We move on. Yeah, you're talking about your emerging blues, mate.
No, just, I mean, when you play so much cricket when you're young, like you play every rep game, you play Saturday, Sunday, you train Tuesday, Thursday, you get into first grade early, luckily enough. And look, I definitely never take for granted the opportunities I was given. But when you play that much from 9 or 8 years old through to 22, 23 years old, you eventually just need a break. And for me, I just felt like I needed a break. I needed to get away from it a little bit. My whole world was cricket. So when I had a bad year and I lost my New South Wales contract, I felt like I needed to go and probably have a backup plan, and I went and became a PT, got my qualifications and started a business, and that's kind of where it finished for me. Like my PT business took off pretty quickly, and I didn't have time to play cricket at that elite level anymore. And then I eventually just dropped back to first grade, played a bit of that for a couple of years, and then that was kind of it for me, really. Played a bit of indoor, but that was it. But I haven't had the itch, I haven't had the need to want to scratch the itch as much up until probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Every year then now I think about going back, but 2 kids and a wife and, a fair bit going on outside and the podcast and everything else.
Yeah, it makes life hard, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit going on, yeah.
As we see, Chris Green, he's on to bowl his first over. Matty Hurst just knocks it down to mid-on for a single. Is it true, Braino, as we see the Thunder here playing on TV, that you were part of the Thunder squad, was it, in BBL 1?
No, I was just in the train-on squad for BBL 1.
Train-on squad.
Yeah. So basically they had a lot of and this was the year that I was contracted as well, a lot of the New South Wales rookies and stuff come through, and they were not assigned, but you were asked to come and train. And that was the year, obviously, that Chris Gale played for the Thunder. And I got to bowl to Chris Gale in the nets. That was fun. And
nice.
Sean Abbott back then played for the Thunder in the early years of the BBL before he went over to the Sixers. Adam Zampa also played for the Thunder for a couple of years. So a lot of the Sydney-born boys played for the Thunder and obviously the Sixers at that early stage of the BBL before they then started getting poached to other states.
Yep.
Chris Green's bowled right here.
Yeah, he has. Matty Hurst is just, let's say, timed a ball that still hasn't made the rope, but they've run 3. So he's now over a run of ball 23 off 22. Finn Allen 36 off 17. Scorchers none for 60 off 6.3 overs. This looks really nice now as we see Finn Allen. Oh, he's got his stance open a bit. Is he looking to go large?
Gee, on his hip again. That's really well bowled from Green.
Yeah.
I think, and when you bowl that much on the hip constantly over and over, he's going to start getting frustrated and he's going to come down the wicket, or he's going to give himself a little bit too much room and overhit one.
Yep.
You can tell that if he doesn't hit a boundary once every 3 or 4 balls, Finn Allen's going to try and find a way to hit one. And that'll be Chris Green's job here. Just frustrate him enough with a few dots or a few ones to make him play a shot he normally wouldn't play. And that should
do you think they'll go with
as Matty Hurst goes on his way?
Davey Warner, for those of you that brought him in, catch. And Matty Hurst looks at his stick as if to say, I missed the middle again. So there we go. Run a ball, 23 for Matty Hurst. Chris Green gets his wicket, as you predicted. First wicket down for 61. And in comes my VC and yours, Cooper Conley, we hope.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see how we go here. Old Coop, fingers crossed he can get us a strike rate bonus. And that's the goal, isn't it, SuperCoach-wise? Where we're talking as soon as they get to 20, hopefully they do it quickly. And we're in the game because, a quick 20.
I reckon Hardy's just gone 3. I reckon Hardy's 3. Yeah. That's Coop still warming up on the sideline.
And look, Hardy batted 3 the last 2 seasons for the Heat, for the Scorchers. So yeah, fair enough. Isn't it good?
It was a taller guy, so I'm only tipping that it's Hardy. Yeah, it is.
Yep, Aaron Hardy in at 3. Look, I can't criticise that move. I think it's probably the right move.
Yep.
Someone letting fireworks off outside my house, that's always good.
If he starts bowling tonight, is he a genuine option moving forward, Braino?
Yeah, definitely at the price, for sure.
Yep.
I'm looking at him if he starts, he's 144K at the moment. If he drops down to that 130 range and he gets an over or 2 tonight, we're on for sure.
Yep. As we see, Chris Green 1 for 6 off his first over. They'll be very happy with that, given the start the Perth Scorchers have had. A little bit of turn into Hardy as well there, Braino.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. Usually we don't see too much turn from Chris Green as he tries to kind of shove him through pretty quickly, but he does mix his pace up incredibly well. Probably one of the best bowlers in the comp in relation to that.
Yeah. Has he got puts a bit of overspin on the ball to make the ball jump up a little bit as well?
Yeah, it's probably just a mixture of different grips. He's got his arm ball and the slider and things that go through pretty quickly. But obviously any off spinner at this level is really good at getting some overspin on the ball, get a little bit of extra bounce.
Yeah.
Who have we got? Andrews coming in for his second over here.
Spin from both ends.
Maybe they've identified something. Warner's identified something that spin could be the play.
That's what they used to say to me when I was bowling, bring him on from both ends. So never really got a bowl too often.
You're just a top order bat horse.
Just an opening bat. Never really bowled, mate.
Lovely.
Did take 1 5-er in my career, but yeah, definitely just a batsman. As we see Finn Allen, off the back foot, straight down to Shafane, Mudguts Rutherford for another one. Tommy Andrews has been pretty interesting, Braino. So he's come in at bottom dollar, and if Sanga's not in the squad for next game, is he a genuine option?
Yeah, I think so. At the price, yeah. I think he is. I was always just concerned that Tanvi Sanga would come back in just enough time for Andrews to play the first game of the double, and then he plays the second, and then it fucks us. As
we see, Aaron Hardy giving himself a little stretch after that reverse sweep for 4.
Yeah, look at that. Like an abdominal kind of oblique injury.
Don't like that at all. He's grabbed straight for it there.
Oh, that's not ideal.
No.
Let's monitor that pretty closely, I reckon, because
he looks stiff, doesn't he?
He does look a little bit sore, doesn't he? Oblique issues like that, or side strain maybe. I mean, it could be anything. It could be oblique. It could be side strain. Could be abdominal. None of those are good news, especially when it comes to his bowling as well. Like if he is going to be a chance of bowling, if he's got an issue like that, then no way they're going to bowl him.
No. I was going to say if it was Josh Brown, that could be a candidate for a stitch, but it's definitely not going to be that for Aaron Hardy.
As he's just gone to try and reverse sweep again, maybe he's just trying to, get rid of the stitch or get rid of the oblique injury by doing exactly the same thing again.
Let's stretch it out, mate.
Just had a little bit too much water on the sideline before he came out. That's all. Andrews follows him as he gives himself room and hits that one down mid-on.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, we've seen Aaron Hardy at the top level play for Australia, so he should be batting 3 in this lineup. He was, I think, the top run scorer, correct me if I'm wrong, from last BBL. So, sorry, the second highest. No, he was the top run scorer in BBL 12, I think, from memory.
Matt Short last year. Yeah,
he was last year. Yep.
Or Finn Ellen's just bottom edge that one into toss up, but it went to deep backward square anyway for a single. Still going at a strike rate of almost 200.
Yeah, deadly quad injury was what Aaron Hardy's been coming back from. Apparently, he did it in England. And was managing that from the England tour in the middle of the year. So played through some of the T20s and ODIs for Australia with that injury. And then, obviously missed the start of the BBL with that quad. So interesting.
Yeah, definitely someone going to have to watch. Just saw him running as the ball went out to the deep there, and it looked like he was labouring a little bit, mate. So, yeah. Let's watch that. As we see, Scorchers 1 for 69 off 8. Let's do a SuperCoach points check. Finn Allen 63, Matty Hurst 23, Aaron Hardy 5. That'll update shortly to 6. Chris Green 22, David Warner 10 because of the catch. Lockie Ferguson 6, Wes Agar 3, Daniel Sams 1, and Shafane Rutherford still on 0.
Good old Shafane. What's his middle name again?
Everston. I was so excited for him before the BBL started.
Just hasn't been good, has he?
He's probably been in the bottom 5, batsmen so far.
Yeah, I agree. But the problem for me is just been the intent. We've heard so many things about this guy at international level, and he's come out and he just hasn't really looked to score. He hasn't even come out and done a Finn Allen and just swung his tits off either. He's just looked like disinterested, which has been really bizarre. So, really well fielded there from David Warner at short cover.
That is a nice looking cover drive. He's got such a nice technique, doesn't he?
Yeah, when you're hitting them like that out of the middle, that's a really good sign, regardless of how you've been hitting them in the past. As soon as you get that really nice cover drive out of the middle of the bat and the feet look good, that's only good signs for Hardy. And if the Thunder don't get these two out in the next 15, 20 balls, I tell you what, they could be in some serious Barney rubble, I reckon.
I love that term. Love it.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. As you see, Sam's running in. Slow ball.
IJ's called Rutherford the mud crab, which I don't know how to take that.
Actually,
I enjoyed it though.
I had a couple of beers with IJ a couple of months ago when he came down to Melbourne for we went to the AFL, a couple of the Insight crew. There's about 15 of us that went to Richmond and Gold Coast, and we put a few away. Quite a funny fella.
Yeah, nice. Very good.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And he's
if you're still in the chat, IJ, would love to know how your Tinder results are going, mate.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deadly said my call of having him the next
that?
Andre Russell couldn't have been more wrong. Yeah. Well, not a good one.
No.
There's that really nice change of pace from Samsy there as he rolls his fingers on it. He's got a few different changes of pace, Daniel Sams. Like one's the back of the hand one, but he goes to that like off cutter / kind of knuckleball look a fair bit. So
as we see, Frio girl in the chat, she jumped on green this week. Nice work. It was either going to be a buy this week or next week, and it's proving to be a good buy so far this week.
Yeah, absolutely. You get hit in the sack here. Yeah, it looks like he got hit one in the nuts. He's sucking in the deep ones at the other end there. Old Finn Allen.
Deadly. All he remembers from the trip down to Melbourne was not enjoying that plane ride home.
I'd imagine he would have had a fair few frothies, and Daniel Sams cuts him in half there. Aaron Hardy, very hard done by there. I reckon that hasn't missed by much.
Jasper's in the chat as well, mate. Jasper not long ago went across to Italy and represented Australia in tennis. So if you want to bang in the chat, Jasper, how you went over in Italy, we'd love to get it out to everyone here in the chat to let them know how you went, mate. So
it's a good point. A good point by Kai here. A leg buy is almost perfect for non-owners. Stuffs Allen's strike rate up and no dot ball bonus for Sams, which I think needs to change personally from a SuperCoach perspective. That's one rule change I'd like to see. If there is a leg buy or a buy or something like that, the bowler should get a dot. Yeah, it's an official dot ball, from a cricket perspective.
It is. Yeah.
So for the bowler, I mean. So I think you deserve to get the dot ball bonus off a leg buy personally.
I think so. Sams has changed his pace really well this over too. Went for a couple in his last over, but only 2 off the bat so far this over with 1 ball to go. He is someone that we've got to target next week, Braino.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's a really nice shot there from Finn Allen, uses the pace. Even though it was a slower ball, we've got to remember, these slower balls are still at about 110 Ks. So uses that pace. I thought he could hit straight down Billings' throat there, but he just gets it a little bit wider and it goes for 4.
He has played that from outside the tram lines on off.
I'll tell you what, Rishabh Pant today in the test match went through about 9 rounds with Mike Tyson. The poor bloke got absolutely, as Phil would say, he more peppered than a RSL steak.
Yeah, on pension night, yeah.
Yeah, no good.
How was that bouncer that just nailed him right on the grill?
He didn't even pick his bat up. Like, he didn't even try and play a shot. He just headbutted it.
He just stood there and just got nailed. Yeah. But you know what? It was unfortunate that he went out and, go Australia. Like, of course, I'm supporting Australia, but he's probably one of my favourite Indians to watch. That was really tough to see him just to keep going through that, keep putting his body on the line. And, he was good. Like, and you see him with the Australian public too, taking photos and happy to do the extra little bit. So, I'm a fan of Pant.
Yeah, for sure. I think all of them are good. Like, the media carries on a little bit and paint and all the constant stuff going on, of course, they're just competing. That's how sport should be at this level. It should be competitive.
Did you see
that?
As
we see. No, what happened?
No, there was a sign in the crowd. Finn Allen, from a Perth Scorchers supporter. Finn Allen, I'm sorry we doubted you. But
love it.
Just last more than 1 over. Yeah.
It looks like we're going to get Deadly in from drinks as well, so we'll get another opinion on here.
So Deadly, for those of you that are in the chat, helped commentate the NBA 2K esports Australia-New Zealand Grand Final with Braino and I only, 6 weeks ago?
Yep.
And he's doing some good stuff with the AFL, so we will announce tonight that we've been working pretty hard behind the scenes to bring you a very detailed list as to who we think, statistics-wise, from 1 to 300, who the best players are in the AFL and the players you're going to want to need for your AFL SuperCoach season. So stay tuned for that one.
Love it. I'm looking forward to footy season as well. We do the NRL, obviously, myself, Whisperer Matrix. We've got a ton of stuff coming on Patreon as well. So, I'm just looking forward to talking about rugby league or football in general anymore. We've talked about cricket forever. It's been a while since we've seen any footy on the TV. I'm pretty keen. But speaking of, getting back to the cricket, we've got Finn Allen on 43 off 22 rocks. So at the moment, he's striking the ball at a bit over or a little bit under 200 now, but you only need 180 plus to get the maximum 25-point strike rate bonus. So good signs for Finn Allen. He's on 68, if my maths is correct right now.
Yep.
But again, I think what we've seen here is we've seen them start to frustrate him and slow him down a little bit here. We've seen Andrews, he's bowled 4 dots in this over.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start to see a little bit of, if these dots keep coming and keep piling up from these spinners, who look much harder to hit than the quicks, you can see already Finn Allen starting to get a bit frustrated. He's not hitting them as clean as he'd like to when he was first started. He's not. So,
and Shafane almost tripped over his own feet picking that ball up. So that's gone for 2. And it drinks, mate. The Perth Scorchers are 1 for 80. Not too bad. The Thunder have sort of worked their way back into this one a little bit, slowing down the run rate in the last couple of overs. How have you seen it so far?
I think that the Thunder have dragged it back quite nicely, but they just don't have enough wickets at the moment. I think they're still in a fair bit of danger. When you're only 1 down at drinks, you can basically up your run rate pretty quickly here with minimal risk. So definitely need another couple of poles here. They need to get Finn Allen out, obviously, to slow things down a little bit, but they probably need to get through Connolly or Hardy as well to open up that middle order.
Yeah, and we've seen what Ashton Turner can do with limited balls as well. So, yeah. How was, as we just go through the comments here, mate, I'm just going to pick up a few. Kai Broom, how was the ball that, no, sorry, it's not that one. He had one up here. What about the Siraj one, the bouncer into his thumb, jaw, and then, shoulder, sorry, into the jaw?
Yeah. Look, Australia bowled really well, but that SCG pitch looked fucking really tough to bat on. Like, it was really kind of spongy and bouncy. Definitely not an SCG pitch as we would expect it to be in previous years. Usually they roll out a pretty good pitch at the SCG. This one looked pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
I think Steve Smith was quoted as it's the greenest pitch that he has ever seen at the SCG. Right. And we know that Steve Smith's played a fair few games at the SCG in his career over the last 15 years. So I see Shafane Rutherford marking his run up here?
We'll have to have a look at that. Mate,
he's marking his run up here. I reckon Shafane Rutherford could be rolling the arm over.
What was I going to say? Yeah, he does bowl some slow left arm offies, doesn't he?
His fucking run up's pretty long. I wouldn't expect them to be offies.
Okay.
Let's have a look. We'll see what happens.
In the last 15 years, Braino,
yeah,
how many times do you think the Aussies have gone into a test at the SCG and only played the one spinner?
Oh, it's rare. They always usually go in with two. I mean, you didn't have to with Warney. Stuart McGill didn't really bowl in tandem with Shane Warne too much. But with Nathan Lyon, obviously he's, doesn't really need help either. But again, you're never surprised. At the SCG, we know it turns. So there's never a surprise when they pick a second spinner. In saying that, who's the guy that comes in? Who do you think is the next guy to come in if they were to pick a second spinner?
Do you think that this may be why they picked Webster as well? He can bowl medium pace, but he can also bowl offies.
No.
As you're right. Shafane Rutherford off the fence, if you don't mind.
You might want to hit your times too, mate. You're probably about 30 seconds behind me.
Oh.
So for anybody who wanted to know as well, if you find that you're always behind when you're talking to your mates about the cricket, shout out to Deadly for this. We'll bring him in a second. You hit your times 2 button on your KO and just wait for it to get as far possible forward before it then goes back to normal speed. And then you're 100% up to date. There's every chance people are probably watching this game with about, maybe a 10 to 20 second delay on what we're talking about. So times 2 does the job.
I'll just wait till I catch up. You continue on, mate.
No, you're all good. We've got Shafane Rutherford coming in. Hardy hits one off the front foot. It's that slow. The ball is nearly going backwards. And Hardy ends up pulling that one to deep mid-wicket for 1 to get Finn Allen. This is the guy that, and this is really good captaincy from David Warner. This is the guy that will get Finn Allen out. Just pure, absolute poo.
His run-up's about 25 steps long, and he's bowling them like an offie. 107 Ks an hour. Andrews was bowling his offies at 100. So, yeah, there you go.
Deadly, welcome.
Hey, mate.
As Shafane Rutherford bowls a bouncer, it's gone well over the top of Billings. They've called it a wide. There's 5 runs.
Deadly, what have you seen so far, mate? We've been chatting enough. What have you seen from the first 10 overs?
Finn Allen being hot.
He's hot. He's a very good guy to look at. And also his cricketing ability is not too shabby.
I've got a stat for you straight away.
Yeah.
Last time Shafane Rutherford bowled in a T20 was in 2020.
Wow. And what were his stats?
3 overs, 21 runs, 1 wicket.
Oh. Is he top edge that? Yeah, he absolutely. Oh, gee whiz. I'll tell you what, he nearly got him there.
Oh.
That's gone for 6, and that's his 50 off 25 balls, 51 off 25 rocks for Finn Allen. Thank you for the 10.50 bonus. That'll take him to 70.86.
Yep.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's gone back-to-back 80 scores. We had him as a buy in the buy, hold and sell for our Patreon subscribers. Hopefully people jumped on Finn Allen. I know everyone was prioritizing the Nikhil Chowdhury's of the world and the Chris Jordans, but another incredible shot off the back foot there.
Oh my God. That's nuts.
To recover for 4. He's on one now. He could knock over it. I actually don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, so I might just not comment.
Can I say something? Because I don't have him.
Fuck you. Don't say a thing.
And no, you're not allowed to.
Do you have him, Deadly? Or do you just like putting him in your multis?
Yeah,
Mate, Deadly
and me we've been riding the Finn Allen roller coaster from day one, mate.
Well and truly left the station now.
I'll tell you what, the Finn Allen roller coaster must be so much better than the Matt Short roller coaster. Oh my God.
That is long. That is like, I wonder, that could be 100 plus meters that. He has hit that flat and dead set out of the screws. That is an incredible
Foxy
shot.
Out. What's Foxy going to say?
Do you reckon Rutherford's going to have another 4.5 years between balls again? Between overs?
I can't see him bowling another one tonight, I'll put it that way.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. That probably wasn't a good idea.
Last time he bowled in an ODI was early December in internationals for the West Indies against Bangladesh. He went 1 for 37 off 6 overs in the ODIs.
No, not bad. He looks like he kind of chucks him a little bit. little bit
Probably
of bent
needs
arm
to get them down to the other end.
Yeah, they start going backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Let's see. Here we go, Foxy.
That's
90.
Okay.
Okay.
How I would bowl.
96.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 90 on the dot.
IJ wants to know if the mud crab is a buy. He's batting and obviously he's now bowling. But now, after what we've seen, IJ, you let me know whether you still want to buy him or not.
Yeah. You know what, IJ, I'd prefer you buy Campbell Chester, mate.
Yeah, I back that.
It's good. We're getting foxy guesses here in the chat. We'll keep them coming all night, I reckon.
Yeah, good.
That was 90, that one. We had 88 by IJ, pretty close. Rod McGrath, 94. Guess on that one. Yeah. And Damo reckons that Foxy needs a longer measuring tape, which is, probably going to, if he keeps going this way, it's going to happen.
Yeah. We're going to give Damo a bit of a shout out. He does some really good AFL stuff too. It's bowled him. Hardy's gone. Tommy Andrews, just Cooper a nice little slider through the gate. Cooper Conley's in. Hardy is gone for 10.
Good signs. I mean, I don't think anybody here owns Hardy, so
10 off 17 balls. That's terrible.
Yeah, thankfully now Cooper Conley will come in. I would be very surprised to see anybody else but Coop now.
Yep.
My VC. Who'd you VC, Deadly?
Jason Behrendorff.
Hey, of course you did. You love child.
You love child, yeah.
If you know me, you know that's no shock.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. You've been on the Jason Behrendorff train since day one, so
since day one.
Full credit to you. He's been good. I jumped on and jumped off.
Yeah, that ride was going too quick for me.
Going.
Yeah, I had to jump off too.
To a season-long contract over at Deadly's team, so
yeah. What's it? More sixes than Brady? Is that the team name?
Yep. He's signed a full-length contract to more sixes than Brady, and we couldn't be happier.
So no, he's not going off to the ILT20. He's sticking around.
No, he's staying around.
Very good. Yeah, Cooper Connolly comes in now, obviously, which makes a lot of sense. Nearly a 38 average in his Big Bash career, 455 runs. Strikes the ball at 135, but I tell you what, he hits his runs in clumps. And the one thing I think that Cooper Connolly does really well that goes unnoticed is the fact that he turns over the strike really well. Yep. You don't see him getting bogged down too much. You saw the other night, obviously, he had to take his time on that Bunsen burner of a pitch at Geelong, where he had to kind of see out. I think it was Marvel, maybe the first game at Marvel, where the ball was fucking bouncing square. He, I think, ended up hitting 60 odd in that game, but he was like 20 off 35 rocks and finished on 60 off 50 or something like that. So
yeah, that's right.
Very good at turning over the strike, and that's exactly what you need when you've got Finn Allen striking the ball over 200 at the other end.
And you know what? The difference between someone. Oh, he has just pulled that.
This is just ludicrous.
Did you see that? He just turned away after he hit it.
Yeah.
That's gone 20 rows back. Damo, if you're in the chat, quick. Foxy, how far has that gone?
That's just as big, if not bigger.
I'm going to say 94.
No, I'm going longer. 98.
Oh, okay. Jasper
Did you
guesses
see the way he
97.
hit it and just turned away?
87.
87.
Oh, we're all wrong. Or Foxy's wrong, which is probably every chance.
Foxy's
Actually,
wrong.
I think Corey's ahead of everyone somehow.
87. 94, 98, and 92 are the guesses in the chat.
What I wanted to bring up as well, just while Cooper Conley's just new to the crease, Braino and Deadly, is that the difference between Cooper Conley and someone like Jake Fraser-McGurk is that he's got levels to his game. Like, he doesn't just go bullet a gate right from the start. He gets himself in, he works himself into situations, he turns the strike over and can go when it's needed, in comparison to the Rooster, where he just goes from ball one.
Yeah, for sure. Deadly, I'll let you answer this one, mate.
Yeah, well, we're not the biggest fans of Jake Fraser-McGurk over here. Geez.
I think the one thing on Jake Fraser-McGurk which frustrates me is the fact that he just doesn't give himself time to get in.
Yeah,
like he doesn't give yourself 10 balls, mate. Just have a look at a few. Like, he's so good, and we saw in the IPL how good he can be. But he just hasn't. There's one game where he got 22 off 21 balls or something like that, and then ended up getting out. He just needs to give himself a little bit more time, because he is a devastating hitter of the ball.
He is on one of the driest streaks in.
Oh, has that gone for 6 as well?
No, that's out.
Oh,
Chris Green gets his second wicket. Finn Allen 68 off 30, a genuine long hop. Be very unhappy about that. But Finn Allen finishes on what looks like 96. Am I right? 78
Yep.
25. What's that?
96 on
Yeah,
the dot.
90. Yep.
Now,
Should
Braino,
actually-
we
it'll be-
were
No,
before
it'll
we
be more
came
than
on
that.
air. Before we
Yep.
came on air, Braino, we were discussing whether you were going to put the VC on Finn Allen or not, weren't we?
Yeah, I bitched it.
Yeah.
Should have taken it, shouldn't I? Hey,
Hmm.
should have backed myself
Oh, you've
in.
still got the 96 points, mate.
I do
And
have
you
the
didn't end up
96
taking
points.
Lance Morris, did you?
No, I
Right,
stuck
he'll
with
take
Chowdhury.
Fife for tonight.
Yep, locked in. I've already told everybody. Back him in.
Just quickly on Fraser McGurk, I can't remember who I was talking to, but he's since IPL, he's on one of the driest streaks for a T20 opening batsman. It's just, I think it was a 16 average, which is probably now even dropped after his couple recent games, and that's just poor.
Yeah, very poor.
For a bloke that's meant to be the future, the 16 average, I don't know about it.
Played James.
James Rodway, VC'd Finn Allen. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Smart man.
103 SuperCoach points he ends up on.
Knows his super coach, that's for sure. Knows his cricket. Ashton Turner comes in, faces his first ball from Chris Green. Again, really well bowled. And another wicket. First ball, Ashton.
Shafane!
Straight
He's
to
got up.
Everston.
That's probably the highest he's jumped in his life.
He's in the game.
I'll tell you what, Chris Green on a hat-trick. He's got 3 for 6 off 1.2. This could be anything from Chris Green tonight. And, this could not have happened at a worse time for us, considering his price will probably bump up now. What's his break even?
It
was like 42, I think
43.
it was.
43 break even. So he's already hit 70.
Yep.
Just in wickets at the moment.
That's probably the first time Ashton Turner hasn't put a score on the board ever.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll probably be buying Chris Green for 140k plus next week, unfortunately.
Oh, yuck.
Who are your targets
Still
next week,
needs to be
Deadly?
done,
Who are
though.
you looking at from the Thunder?
Well, I only brought one Thunder in this week, so I would like to get at least another 2. Probably will be 3, though. Chris Green definitely one. Dan Sam's definitely one. And I'm personally looking at Lockie Ferguson now that he's confirmed to be playing the double and then leaving after the double.
Yep.
But it just all depends if the money can work out for me. Otherwise, I'm very interested in Tom Andrews if we can find out more about when Tanvir Sanger's due back, and I don't know, it's a few other things to come into play for my final trade. But yeah, Sams and Green are definitely 2 that I really want.
Got the hat-trick ball here, Horse.
Yeah, as we see, Hobson just nicely plays that through cover for 1.
Do you agree with Deadly? Are you thinking the same route in terms of those players from the Thunder for next week?
Well, I was bringing Green in this week, but changed it to Chowdhury purely because of the break even and the money-making duty that Chowdhury's going to have for me. So a little disappointed in that, but Green will definitely be in my squad next round. I did see in the comments earlier on, Freo Girl bought Green in, so congratulations. He's scoring very well for you this game. And on the double next week, he's almost one of those must-haves.
And looks like Rod got him early. Got Green this week, thanks to you guys. Appreciate it. It's nice when we get something right every now and again. So good on you, Rod. We didn't have the nuts to do it. So enjoy.
It wasn't that we didn't have the nuts. It's just Nickel Chowdhury and Chris Jordan will never be this cheap again. And I don't know. My whole goal for this Big Bash Super Coach has been plan for the future, not look at the next round. It's always been try look around or 2 ahead. So I brought in Ollie Pope in round 2, hoping that he would get the wicketkeeper duel for last week. He got it, but he still sucked. So it didn't really. It's somewhat worked out.
As we see Hobson there playing a nice backward point gully area. Wes Agar's not going to chase that down. 4 runs. Hobson's been in some good form, Braino.
Solid.
He's been hitting them clean. What did he get? 45 off 17 balls or something the other night to finish off their innings there at the back end. So they might need some more of that again. As Chris Green now finishes off his over with a couple of poles and 6 runs from it, 3 for 12 off his. So he's sitting around that third car. What are we looking at? Plus 15 economy rate bonus at the moment.
Yeah. 74 is over.
Not a bad time to be a Chris Green.
Without an economy bonus.
The dog it this week too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well done.
Quick update. We've got Tommy Andrews on 37, Chris Green's on 74, Daniel Sam's 13. They're the top point scorers for the Thunder. For the Perth Scorchers, it's really only one man, your man Braino, Finn Allen with 103 above all else, Matty Hurst and Hardy, 23 and 10 respectively. From here, Deadly, so we've got 8 overs left.
Yep.
What do you think's par score for Perth here? Do you think that 190, 200's out of the question, or do you think that's achievable?
I think it's definitely achievable. I think they'll be definitely disappointed if they don't get at least 180.
Yeah.
There's 7 overs left. Yeah, I still think 180 is probably it'll be a decent score on this pitch. 180 is probably their target, I'd say, if they can go more than they can. But with 2 new men at the crease, you never know. Surge to come as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I reckon they might play this over out, use it to get a few balls in, both for Connolly and Hobson, just to get their eye in a little bit, and then take the surge. I don't think they'll wait till 16th, 17th over to take the surge. I think it'll come sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
and one interesting thing here is we've got Daniel Sams bowling his 3rd over before the surge and before the death overs. So we'll only probably see him bowl either one in the surge or the final over or the second last over. So they've managed to kind of negate his effect a little bit pretty well, Daniel Sams at the moment. So
I think you'll find. I'll go Deadly. Sorry.
Do you think that's just because Chris Green is bowling so well that on this pitch it's good to have him in the surge and at the death? Because we know they've liked to have Chris Green as a solid death bowler in the past. Do you think that's the reason why Sams is just getting a bowl now, because Greeny's good enough to bowl in those critical overs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Who's going to bowl in the surge for the Thunder? Because for me, Sams is going to bowl the 20th over.
It'll be Wes Agar will bowl one.
Ooh.
And Lockie Ferguson.
I think they've. Yeah, I don't know whether they bowl Chris Green here in the surge. I think that's just, like we've seen it time and time again this BBL so far, haven't we? We've seen Adam Zampa have to bowl in the surge or bowl the final over, and he got tonked everywhere. Lloyd Pope went for 31 and cost him a game. Yeah. I just don't think that they're going to rely on a spinner as good as Chris Green is. I don't think they're going to use him in the surge. That he's most effective when he is able to have the field spread.
Yeah.
And the fast bowlers can be a lot more tactical about their field placements as well, with 2 fielders out as opposed to spinners. Often we see the quicks bowl with, your fine leg and 3rd man up, and that's where we see a lot of ramping, obviously, these days, as we see the fine leg and 3rd man up and batsmen trying to take advantage of that. But it's obviously a low percentage shot. So you're more than happy for them to play that shot.
I got
a really nice ball there from Daniel Sams.
No, it's going down leg.
Yeah. I got a question for you here, Mick.
Go for
With
it.
Shafane Rutherford bowling that over, and has now taken an over off one of Ferguson, Agar, Sams or Chris Green, who bowls 3? Who loses the over because of Shafane?
Oh, very good question, mate. I hope it's Ferguson.
I think it...
I think Green bowls out. Green's been bowling really well.
Green will bowl out.
I don't think
Sams, you think now probably bowls out.
Oh, Sams will. He'll bowl the last over.
Andrews has already bowled out, so...
Yeah, it's one of Ferguson and Agar then, from what you're saying.
I think Agar is a better death bowler than Ferguson.
Yeah.
But that'd probably be the way I'd go about it. Hits a really good... there was a stat I think I listened to in the last game, or the first Thunder game that Wes Agar played, where Wes Agar has the highest percentage of Yorkers in the competition at death.
Yep.
Best, I heard that stat too.
Very interesting.
The Yorkers are the hardest ball to hit for 6, aren't they?
And I mean, Cooper Connolly isn't a guy to use his ramp too often, is he? Likes to hit the ball square of the wicket. So, we're seeing Cooper Connolly's knock, I guess a few of his knocks recently, aren't we? That shot over backward point. We were podcasting,
That was unreal.
for one of the round previews where Cooper Connolly hit that over backward point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bloke's seriously talented. Chris Green bowling his 3rd over here.
Yep.
When do you think they take the surge, Horse? What's do you reckon they just wait as long as possible? Okay.
After this over, I think.
Yep.
I can't see him waiting too long. They probably want to use it with set batsmen in. We know it can go one of 2 ways. You got a fall of wickets. As we see that ball pop up a little bit, that sort of caught Hobson by surprise. But we see it go one of 2 ways. One, you get your 20 or 30 runs, and it really does benefit the batting side. But we often see it leading to wickets as well. So I think these guys are just going to want to take a couple more balls to get their eye in, take the surge, and then really use it as a platform, as we see Hobson off the back foot, pulling straight down the ground for one.
I think another thing to back up the fact I don't like Chris Green bowling in the surge is the fact he does bowl a high percentage of bad balls. Like he does bowl good balls, but he does bowl some short shit like that. So, when you don't have that protection down the ground or in the right places, he can go for 20, 24 off and over.
It only needs to go over the infield, and it's 4. Yep.
He's bowled that really nicely, though. They're looking to target and kind of angle into Cooper Connolly a little bit so that he can't free his arms, because he is very strong on the offside. So they're just looking to change Chris Green coming around the wicket, looking to change that angle into his hip. And it's really smart from Chris Green the way he bowls here as well, because he's going to bowl a few that are going to get stuck in the wicket and they're going to turn, and then he'll bowl that straight one that swings in a little bit as the arm ball, and it'll cramp him for room. And when you're expecting the ball to spin and it doesn't, you're probably looking to open up a little bit and hit the ball squarer through the offside. So I'm assuming Chris Green, he's probably just trying to set Cooper Connolly up by bowling a few of those really slow spinners into one of those quicker, shorter arm balls that gets him onto the back foot.
Yep. As I said, last ball, the over here, Hobson on strike, and it's another dot ball. So Greeny, 3 for 14 off 3 overs. The Scorchers, 4 for 124 with 30 balls left.
Chris Green with the max economy rate. Oh, no, second max economy rate with a 20 plus at the moment. So
that's going to put him to like 90.
Should be 97.
Yep.
Eesh.
That's very good little pod there for those of you that went on Chris Green early this week.
Tell you what, Nick,
and for us,
better match it now.
We said that Daniel Sams was a fade this week, just on the back of the last 2 scores that he's had against Perth, and his Optus Stadium record is also pretty ordinary. I think he averages like 4.5 SuperCoach points at Perth or something.
4.5.
That's rough. So he's on 15 at the moment, so he's eclipsed that. But at the moment, he's going to be relying pretty heavily on making sure he gets some batting points, isn't he?
Yep, 100%. Good question here by Freo Girl in the chat, Braino and Deadly. Either one of you can ask this. Heat Sixers postponed game. Will that get rescheduled?
No.
Nope.
No. They just don't have the time. The schedule's so jam-packed and structured that there's no time. It's not like FPL or anything like that. They just don't make time to reschedule these games. They just go, yep, it's a draw, take a point each, and off you go.
And sure enough, they've taken the surge.
And it's Lockie
Ferguson.
Yep.
So there's only 5 overs left to go. Ferguson bowls this one. You'd assume Wes Agar bowls his third, which is good for your economy rate bonus. That's all you need. It's just not a huge advantage, is it, coming into you've got 3 overs left after the surge.
Yeah.
And you've got how many bowlers left to bowl one? I'd like to think Ferguson probably bowls his 2 back-to-back.
I think it depends on who bowls the better over between Ferguson and Agar here.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good slower ball bouncer.
Good. You see he changes his grip there on the way in just before he's about to release the ball. That's a knuckleball at the front of the hand. So he's done that really well all tournament, Ferguson.
He's probably got one of the better knuckleball Yorkers, doesn't he?
Yeah. They can go horribly wrong, though. You've got to be in very good control of those knuckleballs because, they can go anywhere if you get it wrong.
As you see, Coop, he's eyeing off that square leg mid-wicket area. Straight up in the air.
And that'll be out.
Oh, they've just smashed into each other. They've knocked each other out.
There's a bit of steam.
Sams is out. Sams is out.
Oh, my
God. No, that's not good.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh.
That reeks of, was it Elliot and Steve Wall?
Jason Gillespie and Steve Wall.
Jason Gillespie, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awful. That is not good at all.
No.
Let's hope that they're both okay, but it looks like they're going to get some attention now. Daniel Sams doesn't look like he's in a good way at all.
No.
They're both looking like they're in a pretty bad way. They're calling for
they're calling for the stretcher
help
straight away. Yeah. Yeah. You never like to see this sort of thing.
No, that's awful. And I probably look, in football and things like that, the commentary and the coverage in general do a really good job of not showing what's going on the field. I think there was for any NRL fans, Corey Harawira Naira had a really bad seizure last year for the Canberra Raiders and
Yep.
spent the rest of the year out. They did not show 1 ounce of what was going on the field with him. I've seen a little bit too much here already watching that footage there of what's going on the ground when you've got 2 blokes passed out. I'd rather them, and they've obviously now cut to some highlights, which is a good idea.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like they're in a good way. So
it's not good. Not good to see.
No. It's put a bit of a dampener on what's going on, isn't it? But let's talk SuperCoach for a moment here to keep our crowd that are listening in at home, on the road, wherever you might be, entertained and in tune with what's going on. Deadly first, and then you, Braino. Who's been your buy of the year so far and why?
Ooh.
Well, that's a tricky one. I probably would say Jason Behrendorff, just because he's been so reliable. I've had him vice captain, emergency, everything. He's been so reliable for me. I haven't even had to think about him. But the other one is probably going a bit early on Jack Edwards at the start of the year. Like, obviously, the injury he had before, but getting him early really set me up for that round 3 bye, allowed me to get some, the round 3 double, allowed me to get some other players when people were targeting Jack Edwards, and just it opened it up a bit for me.
Yep.
Me. Yeah. Can we say my fade of the year by not buying Matt Short to start? I feel pretty good about that.
Fuck off.
I've got the same answer.
You guys talk about the roller coaster that is Finn Allen. I'll tell you what, the Matt Short roller coaster hasn't even left the fucking station yet.
Tracks.
Look, it was a big risk though by doing that. Our season could have been completely tanked from round 2. So we did get lucky. He didn't pop off in round 2 on that double, and obviously he's been injured now. The week I was going to bring him in. So, but to answer your question, my buy. Look, I got pretty lucky on starting with Chief when a lot of people were a little bit kind of hesitant on that injury, and I was too. But there was a bit of news around with what's for a little bit, so I bailed on him, and I had no other options really to go to aside from Chief. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll just take it on. So I got lucky there. Cooper Connolly as well is a guy that has been just outstanding. I've had him since round 1. He was in my starting team, and I wasn't really until we found out he was going to be batting 3 and Aaron Hardy was going to be missing. So that's probably what those are probably my buys, I think.
Take everything I said back. Cooper Connolly was my buy of the season. I started with him too. Yeah, and he's been great for me.
Just trying to kind of find out here what's going on the coverage, because you've got a lot of players kind of standing around doing nothing. There's obviously only a 12th man at the ground. You've got 2 players that have gone down here. So,
I was about to ask, what would happen in this sort of scenario? We know that with concussion subs in Test match cricket and that we can sub one off to bring one on. But in this case where there's 2 hurt, Braino, does this mean your 13th man can be activated?
Yeah, I mean, common sense prevails in that sense, doesn't it? Like you've got to get we see Bangers with a broken nose here. That looks awful.
That's a bad
so
one,
he'll be missing some time. I would assume it looks like
worse off.
Yeah, and I would say Daniel Sams is much worse off if he is getting the stretcher. It's good that Bancroft's been able to walk off the field. There'd be a pretty ordinary concussion and a bad broken nose, but thankfully he's able to walk off the field himself. But Daniel Sams, unfortunately, needing some assistance to get off the field, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
Best wishes to both of them and a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
So I can tell you one thing. Dan Sams' last over, well, whoever was not going to bowl that last over, Dan Sams is going to finish on 3, and there's other people are going to have 4 now.
Yep.
So, makes it, we don't wish ill on anyone, and this isn't wishing ill on Daniel Sams, but you'd think with a concussion like that where he's being carried off the ground, that puts round 6 in massive jeopardy for the round, the double that the Thunder have. How are you starting to think about which way you guys are going to go now? Because, I'm going to go, it's not even out on a limb. Let's just rule him out for round 6.
Well, I'll rule him out here. The second game of the double is 5 days away. The first
There
is
you
3
go.
days away, then the next is 5. He's not going to be back in 5 days. The double's done.
Yeah.
Lockie Ferguson's probably straight in for me now. It
Has to
probably,
be.
yeah.
Has to be. Yep, absolutely.
I've just had a thought, Braino. There's a all-rounder that hasn't played yet that's been everyone's loop.
He's
Will
still
Salzman.
injured? He's still injured?
Nah, he played for Sydney Uni the week that the BBL was starting. He played cricket on the weekend. He did bowl as well. I think I did see in a couple of games in grade cricket. So there was word he was playing as a batsman only, Will Salzman, but it looks like he is bowling again. So, yeah, look, there could be an option there potentially for him. They've obviously don't have Sam Constas either. So they're down on troops at the moment, the Sydney Thunder.
Yeah.
Down. They've got Nicholson's obviously out for the season with his finger. Jason Sanger's done the bicep tendon again. Tanvi Sanger's out injured. Like, this has got to be the most beaten up team in BBL history.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of who else is even on that squad. Most of them are just local replacement players now.
Yeah.
I'd say they'd get a fair bit of grace there with a couple of extra local replacement players.
Yeah, they
off
would
the back of this too. Yeah.
So anyway, to keep up to date with everything that's going on with the Sydney Thunder and how they're going to structure their team, make sure you're in our Patreon. Braino, do you want to give the guys at home a quick rundown as to what's included in our Patreon subscription?
Yeah, I can. Essentially, Patreon is a way for us to provide people that want to pay for it, and it's only up $6 a month. There's only less than a month left of the BBL SuperCoach season, so essentially it'll cost you $6. You can jump on in. It helps us kind of make the podcast better and improve things for next season and leading into the footy season and things like that. And or if you just wanted to support the show, you can do that too. But you get access to buy, hold, and sell articles, captaincy articles. We do a lot of stuff we don't post on social media as well that you'll Patreon subscribers. There is a WhatsApp chat that's popping off every single day. You get all sorts of late mail team news coming through as well. So it basically gives you the edge. You get the information before we announce it elsewhere, or usually we don't announce it all unless it's in Patreon. So jump in. You can become a member. The link's in the description below if you wanted to get involved.
Yeah. Good shout out by Damo as well. Good to see the Scorchers medical team run out and assist as well. When something like this happens, it doesn't matter what team you're on. You're just worried about a man's mental health, not mental, but physical health. So
now we've got Dan Christian from the Sydney Sixers, who's retired now for a couple of years. Dan Christian is getting the gear on.
He is.
The Sydney Thunder.
He is. Wow.
Which is really good. I mean, technically, the Scorchers would have had to approve this. So full credit to them for allowing this to happen. But just getting another fielder out there on the field for, however long is awesome for everybody involved, just to keep the game flowing. Dan Christian, imagine if he comes out and just pulls an absolute fucking cracker off the fence. Like, he has been known to take some pretty good catches in his time, Dan Christian. I wonder if he's been playing much.
Be pity if he was 6 beers deep, but good work to him. Getting back out on the track. Like, he was a really good T20 player for a long time. Played some Australia level, international level T20 cricket as well.
Yeah, he was a quality player.
Hatch's 12-man and he'll be the other man to come out to field.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you were McAndrew? You're still not getting a run.
He'll get a run next round.
Yeah.
I reckon there's a chance that a 39k player named Ryan Hadley could sneak a run here.
Could get a run.
Might be a perfect opportunity for him. I've seen some stuff from him. I'm pretty impressed, and they're obviously impressed with him. They signed him to a proper contract.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go.
Never know.
Dan Christian averaging 90 in Premier cricket at the moment, so plays for Sydney Uni. Maybe they should sign him to a contract for the rest of the year. I reckon he'd do it right. I wonder how he feels though, not being in his magenta Sydney Sixers outfit and being in the Western Sydney Thunder outfit. He'd probably feel a bit sick, wouldn't he?
Knowing SuperCoach though, they'll probably put him on the app at 152k like they did down line.
Full import price for Dan Christian.
You know what it would be like, Braino?
Yeah,
it'd be like Brad Fittler when he played that nines tourney for the Roosters back in the day. And when he was about 40-something, played.
It'd be like Alan Alfie Langer coming back and playing for Queensland in that Origin decider.
Yeah,
back in whenever it was, mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, what a time! What a time!
that Brad Fittler one where he took the intercept and fucking he's running as quick as he can, but it's about 3 kilometers an hour.
He was on the treadmill, old Freddie, that day. That's for sure. What are your thoughts, Horse? I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Sam Constas? Obviously, given a bit of a lip to Bumrah at the top of his mark. How do you feel about how kind of confident we're seeing it on the screen here now? How confident Sam Constas has been giving it back to the Indians?
Love it. As a previous opening batsman back in my day, I used to love getting inside the bowler's head. Just whatever you can do to throw a bowler off. Just it's all in fair game. You shake hands, you have a beer afterwards or whatever. But as soon as you cross the white line, you do what you can to get inside the opposition's head. And with the way that he's been, like I'm surprised he hasn't walked up to Virat Kohli. You know how Virat Kohli loves people going at him, and that's how it works him up. I'm surprised Constant hasn't gone up to him with a pen and a piece of paper and asked him for his autograph just to make him feel like it's his best mate. You know, I really like what he's doing. And it's giving for him, that's the way he plays. And that's given him what he would feel as being a bit of an edge. And we saw today, the first ball of the innings, it's a green deck. The ball's moving through the air. It's jagging in and away off the deck. And he just walks down the pitch and puts Bumrah over mid-wicket for 4.
Yeah, the guy's incredibly talented. What do you think, Deadly? How do you feel like, Horse?
Yeah, I think Australia has needed someone like him for a while. Just a bit of not arrogant, but just someone who's a bit more can rely. He's a bit confident in himself, and we just need someone who can lift the spirits of that Australian top order and just even the Australian fans, because we've probably needed it from that top order for past couple of years.
Yeah, we've been a bit timid, haven't we, at the top? And that's definitely not taking anything away from Usman Khawaja. You know, he just does his thing. He's everybody's mate. Anybody who comes in, Nathan McSweeney was a bit thrown to the wolves as someone who isn't usually an opener, being thrown into the test arena against the best, the best bowler in the world, essentially. Yeah. So it's nice to see Constas throw a bit back. I hope he's wary that this just doesn't become a thing that he does every single game. I think he needs to pick his moments where he does kind of arc up and get going a little bit, because we saw it backfire here. You've just fired up the best bowler in the world. He got him out, and then the whole Indian 11 ran at Constas at the non-strikers end. Like, that's what you create, unfortunately, when you're going that hard.
If he comes out and scores 50 or 100 on that deck, let him go.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. He just needs to be careful he doesn't fire them up in the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
He has. Damo's right. Dean Christian is suited up as the new 12th man.
Yeah.
I think, so who would be out there?
So Hatcher would be on, and then who else?
I think probably McAndrew would be the other one, or someone else who was named in the squad that was...
That makes sense. Yeah.
People in the chat, if you can see who else has come on, let us know, please.
Yeah, that does make sense, I think, because, I mean, Dan Christian wouldn't be able to go out and field, and I don't think they'd expect that of him. They'd just be using him to run drinks at worst case if he, or something else happens, heaven forbid.
Yeah, he'd be there just as a resident drink runner.
It's a tall, skinny lad. Can't see a name. Would that be Toby Gray?
Toby Gray? Yeah, I think Toby Gray maybe.
Could be, yeah.
He is a bit of a tall, skinny lad, so...
Too short there from Ferguson. A little bit short, back of a length, a bit slower. Probably trying to get onto Cooper Connolly's hip, and ended up flicking that one over backward square for 4.
Going to give us a bit of a pump up here, lads. Thank you. You guys are doing a better commentary job than the KO guys. Love listening to footy brains butting heads together.
It's been good.
Thanks for
the feedback.
Appreciate it. All right, so it's been a bit of a flat spot here. We've seen Coop get on the back foot, hit a boundary, straight to cover now for 1. A score now. There's 26 balls left. You'd think they want another 50 from here, Deadly?
Yeah, for sure. 180 is the target for sure.
You got to remember.
They'll look to take on whoever's next in, whether it be it'll probably be Agar. They'll probably look to take him on a bit with the last couple of balls of the surge.
For those of you at home, and for those that haven't played cricket before, bear in mind, this is going to be tough on the batting crew as well. There's been 15 minutes where they haven't faced a ball. Yeah. It's going to be fairly similar to if they come in after an extended drinks break or after lunch or after tea in a test match. They've got to get their eye back in here. So it's a really funny time that they've really just got to go right from the start here.
I think that the hard part as well from this perspective is the bowlers and the fielding team have lost as much momentum as the batting team has. So, it's about who regains that momentum as quick as possible.
Yep.
And Cooper Connolly has been in incredible form, so you would naturally think he's just going to get back into the swing of things pretty quickly. Lockie Ferguson bowling a wide there that he's going to have to repeat.
I'm fairly certain that was that knuckle Yorker that you were on about.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Nick Hobson.
Hobson has just put that.
No, it's one bounce, 2 bounces.
No, 1 bounce.
Yeah, 2 bounces.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm fairly certain that wide
cameraman-
was that knuckle Yorker that you were on about the have to get inch perfect. I'm pretty sure he tried it again and it just didn't pay off for him.
121.6 that one was. So, yeah, definitely a missed slower ball Yorker.
I'll tell you what, Hobson is a very clean striker of the ball, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't miss too often.
No. But it doesn't look like he swings the tits off it, so to speak. Like, it's just all timing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
for those of you that are watching the KO coverage, there's a replay of Maxwell's catch. Oh,
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's good gear. And there's also a replay of Jake Fraser McGurk hitting a ball out of the middle of the bat, which I don't think would have been from this year.
that would have been last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the Melbourne Derby tomorrow, Horse. You got your Renegades up against the Stars. How are you feeling about that?
It's the Adam Zampa Derby. So we know that Zampa tried to Mancad. No, he did Mancad. Who was it?
It
Was
was.
it Tom Rogers?
No. Oh, I saw it before. It's going to do my head in. I'll find it for you.
Those of you in the chat, let us know who it was. But that sort of sparked a bit of what was already a rivalry. It sort of stepped it up 1 or 2 gears. And we see best mates Stoinis and Zampa playing against each other there. So,
Tom Rogers. It was
Tom Rogers. As we see, Cooper Connolly with the scoop for 6. Atta boy, Coop, and some strike rate bonus to go with it.
Love to see it. My VC doing good things, but unfortunately, it is my bowler in Wes Agar that got put. So,
they'll look to take him on a bit here.
Good percentage of hitting his Yorkers. So let's see if he can continue that, because it looks like they got fine leg up at the moment. Do they have third man up as well? I'd assume that's usually the way they go with these surges.
Yeah.
You've got mid off up, which is really interesting as well. If he misses his Yorker and bowls one in the slot, they're going to be in some big trouble. Where it looks like they've got mid on and mid wicket back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be good, right? Obviously, we're watching the game. We're trying to get a feel for what's happening. But I've seen this suggested. I can't remember who it was by on X. Having a little fielding map in the top corner for everybody watching on the coverage, just showing you where the fielders are. You know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, he has put everything into that.
That is incredibly big.
That's huge. 98.
No, that's
93.
That's 100.
Let us know in the chat. 93,
Quick,
94, and 98.
15 seconds.
Slower ball, back of a length.
He's put that much power into it.
It's a lot of height in that, though. So I reckon
100.
95, right in the middle of it.
Oh.
Corey Blackledge is definitely watching the coverage about 2 seconds ahead of us, because he's got it right the last 3 times in a row.
Come on, Corey. Be better. Hey, Corey Blackledge is currently sitting 78th overall, so shout out to Corey as well.
Yeah, Corey should. Everybody popping 95 in the chat. Well played.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Wes Agar could take a wicket.
No wonder he's so high in the rankings. He sees the scores before anyone else does.
That's well bowled there, right in the block hole. Wide outside off. It's quite risky bowling them there if you got your third man up. All it takes is an edge, and you're not getting a wicket off a ball like that. So, what are your thoughts on Wes Agar's haircut? Bit of a change up, Deadly, I reckon, from previous years. Don't rate it?
I don't like it. No, there's definitely. I'd go as far as saying Henry Thornton's is better than this.
Oh, absolutely. Henry Thornton's got a great lid.
Horse hates it. He hates Henry Thornton's lid.
That looks like it'll go for
that's
2.
No, that'll go for 4. Oh no.
No. Sure say.
Just 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
not one of his best haircuts anyway. I'll put it that way. He's definitely
Deadly. Yeah, we've got a bit of a break. I'd love to hear your top 10 hottest BBL players, because we were talking about this earlier, and you put together a list for us. So we're going to go through and see who you rate as your top 10 players after we have a bit of a break.
Are we going to bring that up during the innings break?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a beer, but we've got plenty of time. We're going to hear Deadly's top 10 hottest BBL players, so stay tuned for that. Cooper Connolly on 29 off 19 at the moment, doing some really good things. Coming in at 4 didn't seem to matter, which is great. He's still got 19 balls left in this innings as well, so they've started to get going at the right time.
That's right.
Was that called a wide?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Should have been.
Yeah,
Good.
one more to come.
Another very good purchase this week that ruins us and hurts us unless he snags a couple of late wickets here, Wes Agar.
Money's all
Again, that's really well bowled, though, in that block hole. It looks like they've got a clear plan there during the surge to try and bowl that kind of wide block hole length with the deep cover.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Green looking like he might be a chance of bowling one pretty soon. I would have. Yeah, he's going to bowl this one now.
That's the surge over, isn't it?
Again
surge is
after
done.
that.
Yeah.
Good question from Dennis here. What do we think is large enough VC score to take?
Yeah.
I mean, look, this week it's a very different round, isn't it?
It is.
So, everyone's on the single. You don't have to kind of prioritize doubles too much. Deadly, what are your thoughts, mate, on what you'd take as a VC to loop?
Before the washout, I probably would have said 70. But after the washout, probably 60 now would probably be fine enough. Just lock in the points because you're not going to have many players.
Given that I'm on the Matt Short bandwagon and I seriously need to catch up some points, I'm not taking anything under 80.
Okay.
Right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, Cooper Connolly at the moment, what's he on? Cooper Connolly's on 47 from what I can see.
I think he will bowl tonight too because Ashton Agar's out.
He'll definitely bowl. He should bowl at least 3. Spores will take 2, you'd think.
Oh, that's really well played from Connolly. Backward a point. Oof. Just use the extra space there. Chris Green trying to hit that Yorker length and just misses his length a tiny bit. But how about Paul Templeton in the chat, mind you?
Yeah.
He's 103. Fuck off, Paul. Come on, mate.
That's all right. Fielded Fennell this week. You can have your captaincy.
Rubbing it in, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely rubbing it in. Yes, take your 103, Paul. Congratulations.
Deadly. Jasper brings up a good point. Jack Edwards better be on that list.
He is on that list. I've seen it.
He's on the list.
He's on the list. I like it.
He's on the list.
It's actually not a bad list. I do agree with the majority of it. Until he said number 10 was everyone else looks like the back of my foot. So we had to add a number 10 in there just to keep everybody interested.
10. It's fine.
Yeah, we've added a 10th.
Mick, did you field a full 11 this week?
I did.
Well, last week you had Matt Short who didn't play.
That's right.
And you started Jack Wood. The week before you didn't
I didn't start Jack Wood last week.
Hey?
I didn't start Jack Wood last week. He's been my loop.
If I look at your team, I'm looking at it right now. I'm positive because you had Matt Short as your emergency, and you had Jack Wood starting, hoping that Matt. Short
hoping that Matt Short was going to play. Yeah,
and he didn't. Yeah, that's
so
what
you
I
end
mean.
up with
you played one down straight away.
Short.
Oh no, I got 2 zeros because Liam Short did fuck all too. Liam Scott did fuck all too.
And then the week before, you just didn't want to play wicketkeeper just for the fun of it.
Funny story with that. So, traveling for those of you that know country Victoria, I was in the car and we were driving from Kerrang, which is up near Swan Hill, down to a coastal town where I grew up in Lakes Entrance. And it's about a 7.5 hour drive. And I got there. It was about 10 to 6, and I was talking to you two lads about trades and that. And I brought in Sam Harper, but it locked out before I could put him on field. So I traded him in, no emergency. He was just sitting on my bench with Jake Doran in the wicketkeeper spot.
One of the all-time BBL bed shits from the Horse. Absolute bed shit.
It was the one where Sam Harper got named at 7, but then we saw the video that he was coming in at 3. So we kept trading him in and out between him and Philippi. And then he eventually came in at 3 and still didn't even get close to Philippi anyway.
Horse.
Really good bowling here by Connolly. By Green, sorry.
Yeah.
And he finishes on 3 for 20.
Standard Chris Green spell. 3 for 20 off 4.
This is why you bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the best off spinners in BBL.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you what's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what the bowling rotation looks like at Perth. They've named 4 quicks again, which they often do, and they should do, especially at Perth. They've named Matt Kelly, Obviously, Jai Richo misses this one, but they've also got Andrew Tye, Lance Morris, and love child Jason Berendorf. They're going to bowl 4 overs, you would naturally assume. No Ashton Agar. Does Matt Spores then bowl the rest?
I think I can see Kelly bowling 3. The rest bowl 4, for sure.
Yep.
I can see Kelly bowling 3. I don't know if this even adds up. Probably Connolly 2 and
There'd be
Spores
5
2,
then.
something like that.
So there'd be 5 overs. If one of the quicks doesn't 4 overs.
This isn't a 25 over game, Deadly.
Yeah, if one of the...
I can't work out the math quick enough. All right, so
Ashton Turner also bowls 4.
Dorf, Ty, Morris, they're 4.
Yep. Then Kelly's bowling 3, and then that means
3 for
5
Kelly
overs
and
left
Connolly,
over
and
for
then
Spores.
The rest, whatever's left.
Yep.
Spores didn't bowl that well last time he was in. I think he bowled 1 over and it went for about 16 or 18.
Yeah.
None of the math.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Spores bowled pretty poorly in the last game he played. So I don't know. I think Cooper Connolly probably bowls 2. I don't think he bowls 3 overs, which I would love him to.
I'm still confused. All right, so 12, Connolly 3. Oh, I've got it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it's Dorf, Ty, Morris, therefore Connolly 3, Kelly 3, Spores 2. That's it.
Yep. I think
that's what I think it'll be.
Good plan.
20.
There's 5 overs to have between Connolly and Spores, basically.
Yeah.
However that goes, one will bowl 3, one will bowl 2. Hopefully Connolly bowls 3.
Take Connolly over Spores.
Yep. As I say, Connolly, a quick 2 off an inside edge. 9 balls left in the innings. Scorchers 163 for 4. Would love to see Connolly get to that 50 and get that extra bonus, Braino.
I would, absolutely. And look, we think with 8 balls left, it's going to be pretty tough for him to get there unless he, does a pretty good job here in the final over. But Ferguson's bowled pretty well. He's taken the pace off. You can see Connolly trying to use the pace. I think that's where he scores his runs. He scores his runs by using the pace of the ball backward of square. And when you take the pace off, he's got to create it himself. I think what you'll find here is this one's going to be fast and it's going to be straight.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm right.
I'm going against you. Knuckleball Yorker.
Fast and straight. Right, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost got jammed up into him.
Everything was short and back of a length and slow. So, he's probably just trying to lure him into a false sense of security, taking the pace off the ball.
For those that are in the chat too, Braino and Deadly, Ferguson, you brought it up earlier, Deadly. He's here till the end of round 6, so he is available for the Thunder Double next week before he heads off to the ILT20 competition.
His break-even was huge this week, and it's going to be probably even bigger for the double.
Yeah.
You'd
It'll probably
think
be...
so.
I have to even see his price. He was like 159 or something this week.
Yeah, 159 with a 104 break even.
You think he probably
is
goes
that a
to
no?
about,
That'll be a no ball by the looks of things.
yeah, and you think he probably goes down to about the 140 mark now?
They've called it a fair delivery.
Oh my goodness. That's pretty stiff, I reckon. That no to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ferguson gets away with none for 39 off 4. No economy rate bonus for Ferguson, which is great for us that didn't buy him because he's got 104 break even. He will drop probably 30K or maybe a little bit less than 30K this week. So we'll probably be picking him up around that mid 130s mark next week if he doesn't get some runs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good to me.
I'm definitely looking at him for that price. I know what he's capable of, and it's definitely better than that.
Yep. Final over.
Agar.
Where's Agar? Good to see.
What's happened here? Oh, the lights are gone out. I'll put them back on. Come on.
They were just doing some sort of light show.
I want a single here, and then I want Coop to go.
I just want them all gone,
Good
to be
boy.
honest with you.
Well done, Hobson, doing the team thing for the horses of courses. Get my VC on strike.
Yeah, the horse, of course, is desperately needed, I'll tell you that.
I just needs points. Needs points. 180 still in the question here.
Yeah.
Just,
It'll be a bit
Coop
tougher to
just
get
needs
to.
to get off the chain a little bit. I think the Thunder have done pretty well to negate the Scorchers into, we'll say 180 here. Might be a little bit less as we see Wes Agar running in the
Maybe
bowl.
the momentum of
Crack
what
straight
happened.
down the ground.
shot.
That's 4.
4.
That's
Great
poor
shot.
bowling. That's poor bowling. Like he's got it. Obviously, he's got his mid off up, and you go and you bowl a half volley outside off stump. Like you just can't bowl there. He's missed his Yorker. Yeah, that just goes against the plan completely.
Mm-hmm.
IJ, I'll give you the Sam's update straight away. He's out for a while.
Yeah, I was just trying to listen to the commentary while you guys were talking, and they said that Thunder haven't provided a medical update yet.
Yeah.
But they're hoping they'll reach out when they do. So.
Yeah, well, even I don't think there's a concussion protocol in the BBL, but you'd think that was a really bad one. You'd think 2 weeks at least, which is getting closer to the end of the tournament almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. SuperCoach Edge is asking, DJ's asking 3 Thunder players who are we bringing in next round, assuming that Agar and Sams are now out. Presuming most have Agar, sorry, and Sams is out.
Green is number 1 on that list.
Yeah, Green.
Yep. Ferguson.
Jeez.
Green, Ferguson. And
I still don't want to touch Warner. He doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I mean
Neither.
the one I still need to find out about Tanvi, but I really think Tom Andrews could be a very sneaky one at the price. Even if he jags, what did he put up today? 37 off his 4. If he does that for 2 games, that's 74. I'd take that for a double for his price for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kai in the chat saying that Cricket Australia has a concussion protocol, that players over 19 years old shouldn't return to cricket for a minimum of 13 days from the time of the concussion. So
yeah, right.
We're going to see Daniel Sams have a couple of weeks off, which definitely
that's probably
should
season.
be happening.
Yep.
I would
13 days. Sorry.
13 days.
That is, he won't be back round 9. That's season. Well, SuperCoach season at least done. Anyway.
SuperCoach season done. That's a shame, but look, from a SuperCoach perspective, there will be opportunity there for someone to pick up those overs. So there'll be plenty of talking points, I think, ahead of round 6.
Yeah, 100%.
IJ brings up a good point there.
What's that?
Nicky a chance to stay in now because Bancroft could be out? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. He's got
could be a nice downgrade option. Yeah.
He's got a bit of promise about him. Nicotarius comes from.
He's been. I think he'd be in the top 10 most runs scored in the Sheffield Shield this year in Sydney.
Yeah, he's very consistent Sheffield Shield pick. His dad played for the Greek national team for about 20 years.
As we see, Hobson between the legs gets over 20, might just sneak a minimum strike rate bonus. But the Scorchers boys, 4 for 177 off their 20. Connolly finishes on 43 off 31. Hobson finishes on 21.
I think both teams would be happy with that. I feel like the Thunder feel like they could chase that down, and Scorchers are to content score. It's a competitive
100%.
score anyway.
We saw on the broadcast there that 170 is the average score for a team batting first, so it's just over the average. We see here Finn Allen tops all scorers so far, 103 SuperCoach points. Cooper Connolly with 58. Nice for those that VC'd him. Matt Hurst next highest on 23. For the Thunder, Chris Green, 102. Well done for those of you that bought him in, not just for this round, but ahead of the Thunder double next week. Tommy Andrews, 37, bargain price player that may get more of a run. We'll have to see how long Sanger's out for. Then you've got Sams on 15, Rutherford on 11, Warner on 10, Ferguson only on 8. And for everyone that bought in Wes Agar, he scores 4.
Tough.
I wasn't expecting a big score against Perth at Optus, but we spoke about.
You
would like a little bit better.
We spoke about that on the podcast the other night about the fact that they're playing Perth in Perth. That's never an easy matchup. So look, the reason we held on Sams was because of the break even. The reason we bought Wes Agar was because of the break even. And whilst we didn't really expect him to score incredibly well, I would have hoped he'd score more than whatever he got, 4. So tough innings. Tough innings.
10K at least. So he'll be up to near 160.
Plenty to we've got a game of it for sure. The Perth bowlers are going to be in the mix for this. If you've got a quick bowler from Perth, Berendorf, Kelly, Ty, one of these guys, you're in a pretty good spot to do quite well. But let's see if David Warner can.
Or if you like Nathan had a look at Lance Morris and decided against it.
Yeah, I did.
Congrats.
100% I did. Yep. So let's see. I might regret it. We'll see what happens when Nikhil Chowdhury plays. But boys, we've been going for a couple of hours. How about we take a little break, 5 minutes, and then we'll be back, and then we'll reveal Deadly's top 10 best looking BBL players.
If I'm not in the top 3, there's going to be trouble.
We'll be back soon. We're back.
Oh,
Back.
we're on.
Just in time for the second innings to start. I was just listening to the commentary, and Brad Haddon has tipped David Warner to score 100 in this innings.
Shock
Which-
horror.
How many beers has Haddon had?
I don't know. They got some hard stuff. They must have the Bolter fucking hazy XBAs behind 1.8 standard drinks for Haddon.
They're on the hard siders.
Mm.
Sorry, before we go into Deadly's top 10, two things. Braino, number one, IJ. Whenever you're free, would you like to go down to the nets and have a hit?
Sure. Okay. I've actually never had somebody on a podcast ask me that before, but hey, yeah, I can bowl to you, RJ, if you want.
I'll come up.
Yeah, 100%. You're about 40 minutes from me, Deadly, so we'll have to tee up a little net session for anybody who wants to come down. That'd be fun.
I would fly up just to bowl bounces off you or at you, Deadly.
But no lids. Can't wear a
No
helmet.
lids. No
Not
lids.
a chance.
Hats only.
No. And no balls by about a foot every ball too. You know how at training, Nate, how everyone does it. They're about this far over the line every time.
Yeah. When I was playing for the Ghosts, we had obviously open net sessions on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and all the quicks used to run in off fucking 30 yards and bowl probably 5 meter no balls. And the problem was we didn't have any lighting back then, so it used to get pretty fucking dark. It was like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and all the big first grade quicks are running in off, and they're sending them down too. They didn't bowl slow, and it was pitch black. So that was my time to leave. Even if I hadn't had a bat yet, I couldn't give a rat's ass. I was out of there. I was done.
No. I used to always try to get to training early and bat first because for those of you that know Lake's entrance, so the ground is right next to the lake, and as the sun sets, it sets behind the bowler's arm. So when the bowler comes up to throw it down, you lose the ball. It's fucking terrible.
Doesn't sound fun.
No.
Like my local nets.
Yeah. Good time to bowl at you, Deadly. But anyway, Deadly, give us your top 10 best looking blokes in the BBL.
All right, I want to give a slight backstory to this. So this was at about 6:30? No, 7:30, something like that. The Sixers game had been called off. I was bored at work. I had nothing to do. Usually, I just sit there and watch the cricket in this time because there's nothing to do at this time. So what I decided to do was make a top 10 of the hottest BBL players, and I have the list in front of me. So at number 10, I originally didn't have a number 10. I got forced to put one in. We collectively, me and Braino, have selected Aaron Hardy as number 10. We agree that he somewhere makes the top 10 somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, we've got Sean Abbott. His mustache. I tell you, I've got a thing for mustaches, and there's a reason that.
How do you say it?
Mustache. He says
mustache.
Mustache. How do you say it?
Mustache.
Anyway, lipworm.
Ben Dorset doesn't crack it anyway. It's not good enough.
No, that's fair. Who's at 8?
We got Lance Morris at 8.
Yep.
The wild thing.
Yep.
He's good-looking rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good-looking roosters, we've got Horse's love child in Jack Edwards, making number 7.
Yep. Next one's interesting. Next one's an interesting one. I don't know whether I agree with it, but
you don't think Sammy Constas at least makes the top 10? He makes 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, have you seen? I'll tell you what. I've seen more TikToks of chicks frothing over Sam Constas when they're sitting on the boundary than actual Sam Constas cricket shots.
You're right, Tommy. I'm not happy that Jack Edwards isn't number 1. We're gonna have to have a discussion once this goes off air.
You can see he's fuming in the background. Keep going.
Yeah, well, I tell you, Sam Constas, he's a good-looking rooster for his age. Oh fuck, that sounds weird.
Yeah. Who's number 5?
Anyway, all right. Chris Green, he definitely could have gone higher, but yeah, his eyes are to die for. I tell you.
Yep.
Number 4, we got Nathan McSweeney. Good set of hair on him, good rig. You can't get much. 3, we got Marcus Stoinis. Great rig. Gorgeous rig.
Good hair too. Really
Good
good
hair.
hair. Yep.
Number 2, we've got a Pom. We've got Jacob Bethel. Really like his hair, to be honest with you. I'm a big
Is it
fan
the
of
hair that got him up to number 2?
Big fan of the blonde. I don't know. He's just he's good face structure. Oh, I fucking hate. I sound gay.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
But
It's 2025. You can do what you want.
it is. But yes, he's got a good face structure. And I feel like this is probably not a consensus number 1, but I feel like this is no shock that Spencer Johnson's number 1. He's gorgeous, isn't he?
Oh, he's a good-looking
good set
man,
of hair,
Spencer Johnson.
Good rig, good face. He's got the lot.
And you know what? He showed his emotion after he won his BBL tournament last year. He showed a bit of emotion. Michael Higginson's not sure what he's walked into, so that's completely fair. If you've just walked into this podcast right now listening to us talk about how good-looking men are in the BBL, completely understand why you'd be a bit skeptical.
I can understand it. Yep.
We got to give Higo a bit of a shout out too. Middle of last year, he was a participant in the World Series of Poker in Vegas and finished in the money, finished top 1,000. So he is our man that'll head across again this year and represent Australia at the World Series of Poker. If you want to know how to play poker, get in touch with him. He's all over.
Love that. Awesome. Congrats.
Not a bad cricket SuperCoacher as well.
Well, we got the openers going out now for the Thunder, so we should probably stick to the cricket now instead of the way they look.
I'm not going to lie to you. They just showed Aaron Hardy on the screen. He might move up.
Yeah. Hey, I was the one that suggested Aaron Hardy should make it into the top 10.
Yeah.
Where does Tony Gregg's lead get in that?
Probably 3 or 4.
Yeah. Easy.
I'll tell you what, it was a tough decision between Spencer Johnson and Ben Menenti. I'll tell you.
Ben Menenti, yeah. Okay.
Where's Lloyd Pope? Where's Lloyd Pope in that?
Oh, yeah. Everyone says that I look like Lloyd Pope. So I'll take it. You know, if Lloyd Pope's in the top 10, that must mean I am too. You've
got more of a Chris Hemsworth kind of look about you, Braino.
Oh, hang on a second. Let's not throw that name around. It's a bit too much. I might have to bail in our Gold Coast yearly trip if you're going to think I'm looking like Chris Hemsworth. Horse. It's a bit. I don't know what I'm walking. We're going to share rooms on that trip, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, we see Nikitaris and Warner opening the batting for the Thunder. They're chasing 177.
Oh, here we go.
I think this is going to be tough. Braino?
It will be. Absolutely. IJ, sorry, very quickly, through the late Shane Warne in there. Absolutely. Absolutely would be
obviously
in the top 10.
Current BBL players, obviously.
Current BBL players. Yeah, that's right. But he would absolutely be in there. Let's see how we go. Look, I reckon this could be a little bit closer than people think, but I think the Scorchers get it done. I think losing Sams and losing Bancroft just makes it incredibly tough for the Thunder.
It's really depleted.
Yeah, it does.
Well, Ollie Davies been brought in as a concussion sub. You'd think, are they allowed to bat? Surely they are.
Concussion subs are, yeah. Yeah,
so Ollie Davies will come in at 5 or something. It's a great piece straight away from Berendorf. He's got 2 slips in.
Honourable mention to the man who got voted with the best hair in the BBL, Chris Lynn. Shout out to Ange. She's spot on there. His eyes when he's on and the stand and deliver cannot be underestimated. Aaron Hardy needs to move up. See, I agree. Aaron Hardy needs to be up the list.
Dan Christian would be in there if he wasn't if he didn't have grey hairs at 40. So
Silver Fox. There's nothing wrong with having grey hairs at 40. I've got grey hairs at 33. So
yeah,
don't you go disrespecting the grey fox.
What was Whisper's tweet the other day? He found his first grey hair in his beard at 27 and he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from there, mate.
Oh, dear. Very good.
Dorf started well here.
Yep.
Yeah, the first one was a bit wide. And full. Nikitaris just worked him down to third man. But this is going to be a good little battle, isn't it? Berendorf and Warner. Like Berendorf bowls that back of a awkward length. You can't really get to him on the front foot. You have to play a lot of back foot stuff to him.
Yep. Braino, I want to bring this up now that they've got the he's been dropped. Tough chance. But Warner down the deck, straight back at Berendorf. He stuck out the right mitt and he's dropped him.
He's done well to get a hand on that, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's hit that out of the middle, just reaction time, throw the hand up, stop 4 runs. So
I want to bring it up before the ball was bowled, Braino, but you see Warner, he's batting a good foot, if not more, outside of his crease there.
Far out. Look at him.
Does that mean he's on the charge already, or is he just trying to make the ball a little bit fuller?
Yeah,
Because
he's trying to
been known to bowl that length.
Yeah, he's trying to negate that back of a length that Behrendorff is so good at bowling. Just trying to get a little bit closer to the ball. Obviously, Behrendorff isn't sending them down at 145 Ks, so you've got a little bit more time on your hands. You can, that one was 126 Ks an hour. Yeah. So, trying to get a little bit of a head start and get a few more fuller balls.
He's a long way down the track there.
The boys in the chat bring up a good point. Ollie Davies was one concussion sub. The other one is rookie priced dual position player, Hugh Weebgen. Whatever his last name is.
Yep. Weebgen.
Yeah.
Yep.
39K, he's probably going to get a bat at some point, potentially.
Good do. I'd love to know what happens here if concussion sub, whatever comes in, and let's just say it's Will Salzman, right? And you're using him as a loophole this week in SuperCoach. Like, what happens if he comes on, he has a bat? Like, surely you have to score him, wouldn't you? What happens there?
I suppose we'll find out, but geez, if you randomly had Weebgen and were using him as a loop, you'd be a bit spewing if they actually scored.
Is he even in the app? I'll have to check that out.
He is, yeah. He's
in the app.
He's one of the only dual position 39Ks.
He's no Dan Lawrence, let's put it that way. He made his way into the app nice and early.
Yeah.
The day of the bloody
the day the day of the game, yeah. Behrendorff starting his first over, none for 3, as expected from the Dorf. He definitely doesn't go for too many runs, Dorf.
Oh, that is a good point. They have added Ollie Davies and Weebgen into like the projected points, so that means they must score them.
They do. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, imagine if you had one of them as a loophole. That's rough. That's nearly as bad as Lachlan Shaw getting named for the Sixers when everybody was trying to take
a lot of people got. Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt.
Brian, I'm going to ask you: was that a case of people trying to outthink the room, or
on Shaw?
Yes.
Yeah, on Shaw.
Yeah, probably. The pick was Doran from the start of the year, and I know there was word that Doran might play. I don't know. Oh, that could be out.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's plum.
That's C.
I didn't pick Lance Morris. Of course, it fucking was. This is prime SuperCoach, isn't it? I think it was outthinking the room. Personally, I just think maybe like everyone's gone Doran because it made sense. The Hurricanes had a decent schedule. He wasn't going to play. I didn't see him playing any games in the lead up. There wasn't really much risk there. I think picking, but to be fair though, you're a little bit unlucky there picking Lachlan Shaw, thinking he's not going to play. Like that, Lachlan Shaw was probably a safer thing not to play as possible as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was the rule you were talking about that the local replacement
player
squad at some point?
I think it was after they got signed
or something. I think, yeah.
No, I think it was after they got signed. They had to be named in the 12. So there's some weird rule. Don't quote me. I'll get the exact rule hopefully by the end of tonight. But there is something along the lines of they have to be added into the squad of 12 after they've been signed or something like that. So that's one thing you probably need to be wary of with local replacement players moving forward.
Yep.
And that's why Lockie Shaw, as we know, is Steve Smith's local replacement until he's back from the test. So that's why he got named. Matty Gilks.
Up to 3 now. He was named at 5, but as we saw before with the injury to Bancroft, that's moved him up the order. Morris Braino, bit of swing through the air as well. That's dangerous when you're throwing him down at 145.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he's
moving.
He's hard to fade. Like he's one of those high upside guys. He's like a Spencer Johnson, I think. Probably a little bit less of a threat than Spencer Johnson. Yeah. But he's that guy that can get you 120, 130 SuperCoach points a game if he goes and takes quick threefer. And often when he does take poles, he is quite economical too. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was looking at him. 6 break even this week. So if anybody took a punt, hopefully people hopped on this podcast maybe 10, 15 minutes before the game as we started, because we did talk about Morris as a bit of a pod to start.
Yeah, we've got the quotes here at 7:30 from Nath. Lance Morris is 28K WTF. Would it be silly to buy a Scorchers bowler this week instead of Chowdhury? The next 2 games are in Perth, and he has a break even of 6. So, yeah, you called it.
So I mean, look, he's only got 1 wicket. Let's all settle down and see how he goes.
It's looking dangerous the way he's moving the ball through the air at 144 k's an hour.
Warner with the top edge, 2 over point, and he'll get 3 for that.
So we're going to see a lot of the same from the Scorchers where they just rotate one over at a time for their bowlers, or do you think they're going to probably have a little bit more of a conventional 2 and 2?
I think they'll. I think with Richardson in the side, it's more of a 2 and 2 thing, but with him out, it's more of a changeover.
Yep.
I could probably see Dorf bowl in the next one, but I reckon after Morris, it'll be Kelly.
Oh,
yep.
That's sharp and straight through him.
I think that with if Dorf isn't going for runs, he usually bowls consecutive overs. I think he could bowl 2 or 3 straight up because that's where he's most dangerous. He's not dangerous at the death. He's dangerous with the new ball and the way that he moves it around. So he's the guy that could bowl consecutive overs, and I think the rest of them will get rotated 1-1, and that is quick. I don't know whether I'd want to be watching that.
149. That last one was
the one that went straight through him was 149. Now, I don't know how quick that one that popped up on him was, but my God, I wouldn't like facing it.
If anyone's unfamiliar with how a bowling, like a speed gun is calculated as well, usually the shorter balls are naturally calculated slower. It's the faster, the fuller balls are usually the ones that come on the speed gun. They come quicker. So for him to bowl a bouncer that comes through at 149 is just insane. That is rapid.
That's really fast. Yep.
Oh, you can tell how quick they're getting through as well.
Yeah. Gilks doesn't even have time to put his bat down. It's beating him for pace, I think they might give Morris another over after here. Just put the pressure on. Yeah. Barendorf is moving the ball a little bit, putting it in good areas, but Morris has just genuinely beaten him for pace. And given while the ball's still hard and he's getting it through, I think it's going to put the acid on the Thunder players to potentially do something stupid.
Jeez, that is such a good ball.
That's salmon, isn't it?
It's not slow and it's direct middle.
Yeah, umpire did not even think twice about that. He's going, yep, see you later. There you go. What number was he? 7th in the top 10. 8th in the top 10.
Yep.
No, Jack Edwards was 7. He was 8.
He was 8.
8th best looking bloke in the BBL. I don't know. I reckon he could be pushing for top 5. Lance Morris.
He could be pushing up there.
Good
eyes. I don't know. It was sort of made pretty quickly. Chris Green could definitely move up.
Communications team confirmed that both players, Bancroft and Sams, are up and alert, talking and communicating. But with fracture concerns, they're both off to hospital for further assessment. So that's good that Sams is up and about and talking.
You'd think both probably have broken noses. Sams probably has maybe even worse, broken eye socket, fractured eye socket, something like that, depending on where he got hit. But Bancroft we saw before, definitely a broken nose.
100%.
Berendorf doesn't bowl him that quick, but he's hard to get away. He's number 3 off 1.1.
I reckon he's dropped that. I reckon that's gone inside edge on the back thigh.
Can we get Fennell on the gloves, please? I'm sick of Matty Hurst. I'm really over him. I just want someone that...
Oh, that's cut him in half too. It's tough. His feet were shit. It's just really bad feet movement
that pressure Turner, I reckon.
You probably should. I mean, the keepers are always taught as well. When you at that level, they're always taught. If the ball's there to catch it, you got the gloves. It's yours.
Yeah.
So it just makes it tough in T20 format when you've only got a first slip for the most part. As Gilks runs down the wicket at Berendorf and hits him over mid-on for 6.
86.
That's a costly drop. 86? Nah, I'm going to say 81.
I don't reckon that's a deep boundary. Yeah, I reckon like 80.
Fox is inconsistent. Nice shot, though. Playing straight through the line.
Just going back to her.
Playing in the V.
Obviously, it's no disrespect to him, but my God, we've seen him drop 83. We've seen him drop a few pretty cold ones with the gloves on. And, we're just so used to seeing Inglis in that Scorchers shirt with the gloves on. He doesn't drop anything, does he? So it's just...
He's a big loss.
It's hard.
Yeah, he's a big loss for them.
And Gilks another 4.
Shot pulled away.
Short on the hip, and he's wiveled it just behind short fine leg. Another 4. So Gilks is now 11 off 7, and the Thunder are rolling.
Yeah, walking at him as well. It's obviously, again, he's been listening to David Warner, and he's trying to negate that back of a length by coming at him. So interesting to see how he bounces back here, Dorf. Yeah, slow ball. Nice. Well, Bob. So we got SuperCoach Edge. Nice part in the hair for Dorf. Does that get him in the top 10? Deadly, you
Oh,
reckon,
well-
is hair appreciation?
My love child, Jason Berendorf, I really wanted to put him at number 1, but if we're being realistic, he's not in the top 10.
If you put him
I don't think he
anywhere
did that.
near Jack Edwards, nah.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
touched that, actually. I think it's just come off the pocket. So maybe it was
No
more
edge.
Jack.
Yeah.
No. Or Davey Warner.
That's high. Might not make it.
No, that's
Made
long.
it. Never mind.
At 70 metres, probably 75 metres. That one.
78.
Quite long down there.
Going 78. So Berendorf, 2 sixes off his over. That last ball at only 113 k's an hour. None for 20 off 2 overs for the Dwarf.
RJ with the fucking big swing here. I don't think Dorf makes top 50.
Annoyingly, I think he's probably right.
There's some pretty ordinary looking blokes in the BBL. So yeah,
What's
They
the
all
Fox
look the
he's saying?
same. I was
81.
81.
I was looking over a few of them. All of them have the exact same haircut, the exact same beard, similar face. There's just nothing going on with a few of them.
Freo girl in the chat asking how many Thunder doubles we're looking at. She's looking at 5. I think
That's
5's
a
too
lot.
many.
I
I think when you're looking at
5
one team on the double, I think 3 to 4 absolute max for me, especially a
looking at
team
5
like the
originally.
Thunder that haven't actually been that good historically. And now even more when you take out one of the best players in their team in Daniel Sams, I think they get worse. So
Yeah, Ollie Days is up there, Roger.
Oh,
yeah, we spoke about this a little earlier. Ollie Davies up there. He's got a mo.
He's up there. He's up there.
I'm surprised he didn't make them.
I think Joel's better looking, actually.
it looks like
Okay.
a Mo that he's grown since he was in year 7 at school. No substance about it. It needs character.
There's a bit of thickness about it, you reckon?
Hope it's
yeah.
up.
Uh,
This is
Love
coming
to
from
show
a
it.
bloke that can grow facial hair in half an hour, but yeah, needs to be better. Needs a little bit of a flick or something. Bit of Merv Hughes.
yeah, I like it.
Run 3.
That was Lance Morris obviously bowling a bit full there, but he's still swinging the ball, which is good in the 4th over. So I think Gilk's just giving himself a little bit of room there and got a little bit lucky that he predicted where Morris was going to bowl it and hoiked one through mid-wicket.
I think now, if there's, with Sam's going down, Bancroft, I don't really want to force a 4th Thunder player. Like,
No.
if there's 3 good options, yes, I'd be happy to stick with that, but I don't want to force I don't want to really go after Warner because I don't think he'll actually do great. I'm not willing to take the risk on it. And just like it's forcing a Jilks in just to have a double player, I don't rate it at all. I'd rather just have the 3 and then get a good player and a single.
Oh, my
As well.
goodness.
Yep.
He beat him for pace there.
Jeez.
That pull shot. I don't remember the last time I've seen David Warner play a pull shot where he's looked away from it and been beaten for pace, but that was it. 1 bounce,
That's
2 bounces
unreal.
for 4. Whoa.
He's just gone purely on feel then.
Yeah, that's instinct. Absolutely. Seen him all right, though, Davey? Could be.
Wow. That is purely just an absolute hit and hope.
Yep.
Yeah. Good score last week. Seems to be seeing him all right this week as well. 15 off 9 as we see Morris run in.
Gone.
And he's just
Oh, it dropped.
dropped.
I don't know whether that carried.
Matt Kelly.
Must have by Warner's reaction.
That was gone.
I want to see if this carried. No, it didn't carry. Didn't carry.
No, I didn't. Okay.
Still, close. Got none of it. Tell you what, if Morris goes and takes 3 for and gets a 3-wicket bonus, I'll be a little bit upset. Just a little bit.
Just going back to what you said before, Braino, they have doubled up Dorf back to back and then Morris back to back. You
Oh,
think probably Kelly comes in next over,
wide.
Well,
That's a quick bouncer.
or do they go
Do
Dorf
you
again?
slow things up with spin from here?
Probably not this early. I don't think.
I'm
I
going
don't
to go
know.
against.
I
I'm
would
going to go
probably
against you,
get Kelly.
Deadly. The Thunder went to spin in the 4th over with Tom Andrews and really slowed the Scorchers down. So they had
That's sort of their gameplay. But even before Tom Andrews was in the squad, Chris Green was bowling the last over of the power play. That's just how the Thunder roll. Scorchers, I can see they usually bowl pace again right after the power play. I think they go Kelly one more and then they bring spin on. Personally,
Yeah, fair call.
Deadly.
Shout
do you
out.
think? Oh, sorry. Go, Bruno.
No, I was just going to bring up this comment because it made me laugh when you guys were talking. Dwarf's the filthiest Mo, combined with his chompers that look like they've been whacked. Those fake lolly teeth in his got Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury style get up. Absolutely Freddie Mercury. Like that's the best
there's lots of
comparison
that
I've
about
seen.
him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deadly, do you think the Thunder target Kelly?
Out of the pace bowlers, yes, definitely.
Yep.
But I think the second you get, I reckon they'll definitely try. Well, they're sort of targeting pace now. Yeah, they probably do. Just go straight at Kelly.
We saw through the Perth Scorchers innings that spin was a lot harder to face early on too. Like we saw the ball stick in the wicket a little bit. We saw Chris Green bowl a few into the wicket that turned and were quite slow and bouncy. So I don't know. I don't mind the idea of Cooper Connolly or Spores bowling in over here and just seeing what it looks like.
You can probably target Connolly and Spores, but just I don't know. I feel like they've 35 straight off the power play. You'd think Kelly coming in, he's not as great as these two. Do they just go a bit harder?
How about this for a hot take from IJ? He reckons you and Whisperer look alike.
Oh, well, Josh is a good-looking man. I'll take that.
Okay, there you go. I kind of agree, partially. I'm kind of with him.
Oh, well, look. Take the glass.
35 off the power play is exactly the same amount of runs that the Scorchers made as well. So we're dead on even at the moment.
Just one wicket down. Yeah.
Pace bowler. Yeah, Kelly.
And there's a bit of a difference here at the wicket with Gilks batting as opposed to Aaron Hardy and Finn Allen. It's a bit of a stronger batting combination than having Gilks with Warner.
Yeah. Hurst and Hardy really found it hard, didn't they, to get runs? They were both under the... Well, I think Hurst was at 100 strike rate when he went out, but Hardy only scored 10 off 17 balls. So if these guys can continue this run rate, comfortably over that 110.
Problem. I just don't think Hurst is that good, and Hardy was carrying something. He doesn't look that great, does he?
Well, that side issue or whatever it was, oblique.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It
but
seemed
yeah,
to
he
trouble
did
him a
look
bit.
off.
He wasn't running as quick as he would. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he found it a bit hardy, didn't he?
Oh, you're a dad now. I'll leave it.
Yeah, good. I'm a dad of two now, so I'm allowed two dad jokes a night.
Yeah. Have to start thinking of some girlier ones.
Yeah.
Got any good ones, Mick? You've been a dad of two for a little bit.
No.
Oh,
I got nothing.
Of course you don't.
No.
Good of good of KO to shit itself again on me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's sort of doing a little bit of a buffering on this end, but we've got Matt Kelly running in. Warner just hit him for 2 down to deep square leg. He's gone in that area again, only 1 this time.
Yeah, single this time.
Who's that? Who's number 7 down there? Is that Spores?
7 is... I think it might be Spores, actually.
Yeah, because they took on his arm that last one. They weren't going to take him on again there. Let us know when you're back up and running again, Braino. But
I've got error 9999 at the
good
moment,
ball.
so stay tuned.
Yeah,
Gilks tries to hit for the fences and misses.
Yeah, it's sort of a forced move, isn't it, having to pick him up to 3 after what happened before.
Yeah.
But this is good from Kelly so far. Like we saw he got spanked in that last game. As long as he can keep the economy rate down, then Perth will see this as a win. As I see him now, running into bowl. Fairly conventional style run up. Bit of in swing there too.
Yeah,
started that
still
outside
moving.
leg and
Ball's
came in.
definitely still
Yeah.
moving.
Good save there by whoever that is in the deep. I'm framing at the moment, Deadly, so I'm going to have to throw it to you, mate.
I just had to
For another
type
2.
so I have no clue who it was.
Looks like KO's providing a bit of trouble for everybody at the moment.
Anyway, we're back. We're good.
KO realizing that we're getting more people on our stream than what they are getting on their live. So you just have to bear with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Kelly runs in.
How's your SuperCoach team going at the moment? How are you sitting? We're obviously 1 game in because the first game got washed out. Deadly, how are you looking at the moment?
Currently, in this round, no, not too bad. I think I'm at 112 with 3 players in this game, and I got stuck with Spencer Johnson on field. So, I mean, it could be worse, to be honest. Finn Allen's definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That 100 from Finn Allen, 103 he finished on, unless he jags a catch, which would be lovely.
Yeah.
I need Cooper Connolly to bowl some overs here because 53 is just not really enough for me to take a captaincy of VC Loop over Overton.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think Ty bowls this early. You'd probably think he comes in now, Coop. Maybe.
Let's hope so. What's everyone's thoughts on Glenn Maxwell? Because I'm just waiting for KO. I can't see shit at the moment.
Matty Hurst has just taken his hat off, so maybe he's putting a helmet on anyway. It's just a thing.
Maxwell, on Maxwell, mate, I'm off him.
I'm off him.
Yep, the Stars are an absolute rubble. They do not have a consistent game plan that they run with from one game to the next. And yes, Maxwell's pedigree is one of the best in T20 cricket. But look at last game, for example. They dropped him down to number 6 he batted at.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't bowl.
Spin bowler, it's not Connolly. I think it's Ashton Turner.
It's Ashton Turner.
It is.
And he took 4 catches for his 40 points.
Yeah, it's a concern.
So it's a massive concern. If someone's batting 6, not bowling, are you going to pay 200K? And for me, that's a solid no.
Nah, anybody else, you'd look at it and you go, no fucking way. The role's terrible. But it's because it's the Maxwell factor.
Yep.
I'm
wild first ball from Turner. It's wide down leg side.
On the Maxwell conversation, I'm just going to hold him because everyone else is selling. That's the only reason I'm doing it, because when you can get Glenn Maxwell as an under 20% owned pod, I think you take it.
Yep.
So I'm just going to take a punt. I think I'm going to make some decent money this week on the players that I brought in and dog it early and all that kind of stuff that I think I can afford Glenn Maxwell's cash loss, knowing that there's every chance that he makes that money back by the end of the year. So if I've got him and everybody else doesn't have him, I feel like maybe it's a little bit of an advantage. That's the only thinking. Otherwise, I'm not a fan of the role, and I'm actually not a fan of his form. So
no,
the smart thing.
Dave, you want to cut Ashton Turner down to deep mid wicket for 2 runs?
It's been a couple of weeks in a row, Braino, that with Matt Short, he's been on the at the bottom of the app where it shows you most traded out and most traded in players. So Matt Short's been the most traded out 2 weeks in a row. He's going to be a pod for me soon enough. These ownership numbers are dropping dramatically.
I think the problem with Matt Short is that people go to buy, like as soon as he plays a game, people will then want to buy him back. Yep. So he's only going to be a pod for 1 round before the masses trade him.
Right. Davey Warner has just switch hit Ashton Turner for 4.
That's impressive.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was a clean strike. Yeah, down on one knee. If it was the right-handed version, it would have been over cow corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, him and Maxwell, they're probably the 2 best at that shot. Deadly.
Oh. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're Maxwell practices it every single game. So, who's another one that's really good at it at the switch shot?
Sam Billings. Oh, he's good at the ramp.
He's good at the ramps and the sweeps. Someone played a really solid one the other day. I can't remember who it was.
Was that out? No,
it's over his head.
Covered.
Yeah, Ashton Turner, it's not looking good for him here. He bowled a pretty wild one after that switch shot for 2 wides, and he's just been hit for 4 over 3rd.
I reckon this is the only over we see Ashton Turner bowl.
Yep. I was going to say before when they were talking about when the people in the chat were talking about Ashton Turner bowling, I was thinking if he takes the ball, he takes one off Coop and doesn't bowl another one. Yep. I can't see him bowling more than 1 over anyway.
Nope. Not with 2 wides and 2 rank.
Yeah, not anymore anyway. But even before the innings, I probably would have said he doesn't bowl more than 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a pretty loose over.
So we at 1 for 56 off 6 overs. So the Thunder are right on track with the stick. Davey Warner is up to 51 SuperCoach points in this game. Gilk's up to 18. And that's about all when we're talking about movers. Lance Morris is on 26.
Davey Warner had a negative break-even, -5 break-even this week, which means that at the moment he's looking at making... So for anybody who wants to know how to calculate the break-evens, you can pretty much divide it by 4, and that's what you're looking at over their break-even. So, he's about 50-odd points above, or he's on 42 at the moment? 47 points above his break even at the moment. You divide that by 4, he's making about 12K. So
as we see AJ Ty coming to bowl his first over. And to dot off the first ball. Slow ball.
yeah, just worked at mid-wicket. I'm watching it on my phone on my 5G at the moment because my computer has just shit itself.
He's got a very good slower ball. He's got 4 or 5 different variances of the slow ball too, Braino.
The variances are what makes it so.
Yeah, it's the leg cutter, the off cutter, the back of the hand, the knuckleball. He's a very smart cricketer, Andrew Ty.
Yep. Australian level or international level, he's played T20 cricket for Australia as well.
Yep.
He has
2 dots off the first 2 balls.
I guess he gets an advantage to bowl to Matt Gilkes, who, we wouldn't consider to be a top class or top BBL player. So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't knock him over here, and then if he gets a couple of overs at him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he's beaten him.
Yeah, he's beaten him.
3 dots in a row. That was really nice. Moved away a little bit in the air and a little bit off the deck. What's Gilkes going to be at next week? Because he's got that batsman wicket keeper. He's on 33 right now.
Put it this way, I would be targeting
19.
him. Break even at 19, he probably only gains a couple
Might
K.
be 65K.
65K, yeah.
Could be a
still
downgrade
going
from
at him.
Sam Harper on the double.
No,
Any interest
no
there,
thanks.
Deadly?
I don't like it, to be honest with you. This has been a pretty ugly looking 23, to be honest, and another one of them wicketkeeper batsmen who even I've said owning him he's had some decent scores, but had some pretty ugly ones. Was Ollie Pope. He put up a 40 one game, and my God, he could have got out about 7 times. And it's been the same for Gilkes. He's been dropped earlier. He's had the 2 good shots off Berendorf, but besides that, he hasn't really done much here.
The hard thing for me is that the job security isn't there for Gilkes, like especially if he's not going to be wicket keeping. That if he was wicket keeping, that's where he gets the job security from. But the fact that he's just playing as a batsman means he can be replaced at any time. And I guess his advantage is that Nick Maddinson won't be around, and there's a lot of injuries floating around at the moment. So maybe he does get an extended run off the back of bangers getting injured.
Yeah, he probably gets an extended run, but I still don't think he's that as. Like, if you're targeting Thunder players off the double, you're not targeting Matt Gilkes in hopes that he scores 100 randomly, because he won't.
No, he definitely won't. Not a guy that's going to score you big runs. He's just what we consider in the FPL world, for anybody who plays that, is an enabler, somebody who is nice and cheap, free up cash to allow you to get to the other good guys that you might not have been able to afford. So that's pretty much all he is at this point, is makes room and goes over backward point. He's doing all right, 29 off 22 balls. Not too bad.
Well, I talk shit about him and he hit 2 nice 4s, so maybe I should do that more and bring him into my team.
Maybe you should. And that we're watching that replay of that Andrew Ty catch at mid-off. That is
There's been some unreal
grab.
catches this year when we talk Andrew Ty, Glenn Maxwell, Mac Harvey, Will Sutherland. Deadly, I'll go you first. Who's been your number one for best catch this year?
Maxi. It's going to be
Maxi.
All 3 of us is going to be Maxi. He got up as high as some of these blokes did at mid-off on the boundary. It's about four steps out from the boundary line. He's thrown it back in, LeBron James style.
Just out of the reach of the keeper.
Yeah,
1 to Warner.
Matty Hurst just didn't get Warner. But yeah, still, that catch is ridiculous. That Maxwell catch. It'll be a long time before we see something like it, I reckon.
Yep, agreed.
Like, we've seen these Will Sutherland, Mac Harvey, those sorts of catches. Who was the other one? Someone did it similar. Ty did one just that showed just then. Yep. They're all somewhat similar catches.
Jordan Silks, another good one in the field.
Yeah, like, they're good catches, don't get me wrong, but you see it every now and again. And that, like, it happened like 3 days in a row. That Maxwell catch is something you won't see from years.
Yep, completely agree.
Yep. As we see, Matt Kelly is actually making a good fist of this. None for 8 off 1.2 overs. He was getting spanked the other night, so good to see him changing his pace and his line and lengths as well. He's a lot more fuller tonight. And causing a little bit of issue here for Gilkes, 29 off 23. Going along all right. Still, what do they need? 115 off 13 overs.
We'd expect Ollie Davies potentially to come in next, or are we looking at Sam Billings?
Sam Billings, I reckon. Ollie Davies at 5.
Yeah, okay. Because we've seen Ollie Davies bat ahead of Sam Billings this year.
I think it's the other way. I think Ollie Davies next, then Sam Billings. Yep.
Okay.
It just depends what you need. I think they both provide a different, part of a different role.
Yeah.
I think Billings is the stabiliser.
Yep.
And I think Ollie Davies is the guy to push the pace. So 7.3 overs for 63. I don't know whether they need to push the pace too much at the moment.
As we see Perth opt not to go up to the DRS and see whether there's an edge on this. Looks like it's flicked his helmet, so probably smart.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 dots in a row to Kelly. Nice work. And he's almost played on.
That's another really good ball.
Yep. 3 dots in a row to
First over,
Kelly.
he was moving the ball both ways, to be honest with you, and it was looking pretty promising.
Yep.
So he might get 4 overs yet. He's bowling really nice here.
Well, if Matt Kelly was in any other team in the BBL, he'd be almost a walk-up start.
Oh, easily. Now he's just a good rotation piece.
Yeah. And it goes to maybe what's potentially going to happen with Marley Beardman in the future, is AJ Ty retires potentially in the near future. He hasn't got much time left. Someone's going to have to make way for Marley Beardman, otherwise you lose him. You lose him to a competitor. You lose him to another state.
He is seriously quick for such a young kid.
He's got so much talent, that kid.
Yeah.
It's missed everything. So good non-review there. Once this over's finished, Nath, we might give a shout out to Game Day Squad, because now that you speak about Marley Beardman, it might be a good time to get his silver or gold card into your Game Day Squad.
Yeah, I reckon people probably should look at it.
Got a dynasty?
We're lucky enough to have partnered with Game Day Squad this year, and from one respect, I think it's really been great for us to change it up. It's been good to get away from the SuperCoach format for a little bit. We've lived and breathed SuperCoach for a while now, and Game Day Squad have come on board, obviously, and it's a fantastic format. Different scoring, and obviously, it's not just about this year. It's about building your squad up and building the cards up that you have for future years. So we've gone and we did some content for Game Day Squad on our social media. You can go and follow us at Instagram, Insight BBL, where we did our top 5 dynasty picks, and Marley Beardman was definitely one of them. So a lot of people went out and grabbed these cards nice and early. You can rip packs open and build your squad up, and then you can compete against us and the rest of the Game Day Squad community. So you can use the code IFSAUS is the code, and then you get yourself a 3-player rare pack thanks to a Game Day Squad. So stoked to work with them. And also, exciting news, we're going to be working with Game Day Squad for the footy season for both AFL and NRL as well. So get involved now before you miss out.
Yeah, absolutely. With the cards, Braino, just before we finish talking about Game Day Squad, probably a good time to get these young players in now before they start booming, isn't it? Increase the value of your cards. I know you and I went fishing, I guess, with cards, and we both got some Sam Constas cards. Callum Vidler got a gold card of his. Marley Beardman as well.
Callum
Vidler,
very good.
I made sure I got some Constas really early on, and I ended up getting some Beardman. I got some Callum Vidler as well from the Heat.
Yep.
He's going to be a big part of what they do moving forward.
Incredible.
So, you can go and stash early. The one thing I'd probably recommend with Game Day Squad, though, is to make sure that you're not getting too many imports, because there's every chance that these imports might not be back again and your card might become useless. So being able to build up the value of these cards and potentially even resell them after a good game or two from these players is a good tactic as well.
Yeah, for sure. And unlike NBA 2K or FIFA or any of those sorts of games, if anyone in the YouTube world play those games, they're your cards forever. You don't lose them. Year after year, you keep your cards. So if you pick up a nice one, a nice young player, he's yours for the next 10 to 15 years or until you sell him.
And we've got a mini league happening at the moment, don't we?
Yeah, we do. There's quite a few of us in there. I'm not going very well in there, though. But there's some players who have ripped over some nice cards in there, Braino. I might have to do little bit of a look there and see. But I really rate the concept. It's good, as you just said, to look at cricket from a different perspective instead of just always SuperCoach.
What
from that SuperCoach
What
perspective?
the fuck did I just see from David Warner? Did you see that pull shot?
He's played a pull shot that's hit the back of the bat and gone to third man.
Yeah,
that's elite.
I was more watching AJ Tyler. Did he throw his towel on the ground in anger, in frustration?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he just fucking hoiked his towel at the ground.
You have no idea where that went. Yeah, and no, I think he. Maybe weird.
That was different anyway.
Oh, that is a nice shot. There's a fielder out there though. Collect that one.
Off. No ball.
No ball.
After Warner's taken all his gear off.
Jesus. Well, Jilks is doing a good job here. We kind of flamed him a little bit, didn't we? And he's come good. He's a 33 off 30 balls, supporting Warner perfectly, allowing Warner to play a few more shots and just get him on strike. So, we talked a little bit of shit about him at the start, but he's done a good job.
With no balls, Braino, is it right that you cannot change the field from when you bowl a no ball? It has to stay the same?
I'm not actually sure whether that's changed or not.
Okay.
Because initially that used to be a rule where it used to have to stay the same for a free hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably would have. I can't see them changing.
Definitely gone for it.
Yeah, I can't see them changing that.
So he's pierced the field. He's gone to deep backward square, and Warner's just hit a 4. Thunder are now 1 for 76 off 9, requiring 102 more runs off 11 overs. 102 off 66. This is
going to come down to the wire.
It's going to be a lot closer than what I initially thought.
Yeah, I've got to watch it on my phone at the moment, which is why I'm looking down and not looking at my screen. So bear with me. I think I'm about maybe 2 or 3 seconds behind everybody else. So I'll catch up.
That's okay, mate. We'll carry you through, won't we, Deadly? You and your mustache.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not say Sam Constance is top 6? Look at him. He's gorgeous.
Oh, jeez. You put him on the list above Jack Edwards.
Yep. And I'll stick by that.
Big call.
Massive.
Matty Spore's coming in. No Cooper Connolly yet.
Pretty conventional field. Looks like they've got a deep mid wicket. We saw when Spores bowled in the last game that he played in, he did get put pretty much everywhere and only bowled a single over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, very interesting to see how this goes. Bit of Paul Adams about him, isn't there, with the bowling action? It's South African left-arm Chinaman legend.
From Paul the Adams, early 2000s.
Yep.
Remember, like his head would go down and his arms are going one way and another way.
Legs would go everywhere.
Yeah. There was someone else that did that, wasn't there?
There's been a few. There's been a few over the years, yeah.
His action looks insanely like Rashid Khan's.
Yeah, there is a bit of Rashid Khan about him. That's a good
call. That's full. And
slapped.
Yeah. The switch hit for 4. I feel like Warner's going to target him here a little bit.
I think it makes sense to target him, really, doesn't it? It's he's probably the weak link here in his bowling line.
That's gone.
They're going. That's going upstairs.
I'd go up for sure.
That's going upstairs. He's on the back foot. It's hit him just above the pad.
Did that pitch outside leg is the only question?
No, I don't think so. I think that's right on leg. In the chat, before it's given, out or not out, let us know.
Yeah, okay. They're reviewing it. It did look like the ball skidded on, which is my only thing. It looked like it hit him maybe Midland leg. Yeah. So the question mark was, if it wasn't spinning, where did it pitch? And if it pitched outside leg, it's not out. So we've got a few different ones. We've got Corey in the chat, SuperCoach lock.
Corey's about 5 minutes out of everyone, so it's obviously out if he said out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good call.
That's salmon, mate. That's got to be gone, surely.
Let's have a look here. That's pitching leg. See you later. That's got to be out. The only thing that'll save him here is height. He's gone back, but it's hit him above the knee roll.
Nah. Yeah, above the knee roll, but his leg's bent.
It's gone.
Can we rock and roll that through to the pitch? Thank you.
Hey, we're trying to dodge the KO commentators.
Yeah, calm down, Junior.
There's no edges there.
Talk about your great. You're going to talk about your
Where's
greyhound next.
Foxy?
Oh, umpires. Oh, no. It's
Umpire's call.
height.
There you go.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I told you. Just
That's smashed.
No.
there you go. Height is the
Wow.
question every time. Especially when it hits him above. Like when you think David Warner's a pretty short bloke, so it shouldn't really impact him too much, but it did hit him pretty high. Big Greg Davison, given that one not out. We don't hear him on the third umpire.
Third umpire.
mic
What's
tonight.
that? This.
Can
Yeah. Yeah, one of
you
the
get your
all-time
best
blunders.
impression, Nath?
Say again?
Can we get your best Greg Davidson impression?
No, I don't want to get myself cancelled, mate. We'll keep that one for private. We'll keep that
No,
one for
we're
private
PG
Discord chat.
rated. But Greg Davidson did umpire you back in the day, Braino.
Yeah, he was. He umpired a lot of Sydney first grade back when I was playing first grade coming up. So that's where he obviously started his umpiring career, and he's done really well for himself over the last 10, 15 years.
Warner
So.
thought he was gone. Warner was halfway off the pitch. Wow.
Warner
Interesting.
again, another
What's he
40 off
doing?
26.
What's he
wow.
doing here?
Him walking, that was from the Spurs shout.
Oh, that was from right. Okay.
He thought he was
Interesting.
done.
He
Yeah,
thought he was
right.
cooked. Yep.
I think
Nice
and that's
shot
the
there,
hard thing
Mitchell.
with the umpire's soft call of not out or whatever the umpire goes
Boy,
with.
he slipped over there. He's not going to make it.
Oh, what
he
is
missed it.
Hurst doing in front of the stumps?
That seems to be a technique a lot of wicket keepers have been going with, is getting the ball in front of the stumps and then bringing it back. So
They were
there's-
saying it in commentary the other day. All the English wicket keepers, you'll see it a lot. They
Yeah.
love to do that, stand in front of the stumps. They were saying it when Billings was doing it. Now Hurst is doing the same sort
If
of
he
thing.
had stood behind the stumps there, that's an easy gather. And
the problem
not
is
even
when
in
the
the
ball's like when you look at the throw, right? The throw wasn't exact. It was going to land short. So the idea
throw it,
is
the
you want
deep
to try and
was
get the ball on the full and drag the ball back at the same kind of pace. But he was 2 steps in front of the stumps. Usually you should only be you should be within reach of being able to take the bails at the same pace the ball's coming in from the outfield. So the technique there from Hurst was just putrid. Like you got it all wrong. Yeah, and Kai's nailed it. Loose sense of where the stumps are. So he obviously went too far away from the stumps and then had to drag it back. Technique's okay, long term, but yeah, his placement was shit.
All
And
right, so
Scores has gone for 9.
yeah, good over. He'll take that.
I mean, they need
We're at
11 and
the-
over to win
Two
from me,
almost
don't they?
wicket shouts in it.
We're at drinks. So 10 overs left. The Thunder need 93 more runs. So 9.3 runs per over. SuperCoach wise, Finn Allen still leads the way on 103. Cooper Connolly still on 53. And then we go all the way down to Nick Hobson on 26. For those of you that have got Berendorf, he's on 5. AJ Ty is on 4. And Morris is on 26. For the Thunder, Chris Green, 102, clearly leading the way for them. Warner's up to 70. Tom Andrews, 37. Gilks is on 34 now. And then we've got Sam's Rutherford. Ferguson, Agar still on 4. Nikitaris, I don't think he can go any lower than 39K, but he scored 1.
Played all around one too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Nikitaris.
he
He'll hopefully be better for that moving forward. But he's probably going to get a bit of a run, like we were saying earlier. There's every chance he probably plays the double now
He's
for the
got some
Sydney.
promise, but
Thunder.
he's definitely prone to something like that. I've seen a few Shield games where he's just completely misjudged a ball, and it's been horrid for him.
I'll quickly answer this one. I must have missed it earlier. What's the combined worst net you've had to face in terms of quality of bowlers? And I'm assuming maybe worst net is in like hardest net that I've had to face. When I went up to Brisbane for the Centre of Excellence for 2 years in a row. So I was lucky enough to face a lot of Mitch Stark, Hazelwood, and those kind of guys. And at that time, Ryan Harris and Ben Hilfenhaus were both doing their rehab when they were coming back to the test team that summer. I think it might have been 2009 or 2010, around that time. And both of them, in addition with Peter Siddle. So it was Siddle, Hilfenhaus, and Ryan Harris in their prime, probably mid to late 20s, were all bowling at me in a centre wicket. So basically, no matter how many times I got out, it didn't really matter. They had about 40 minutes at me. And that was probably the second scariest net that I've ever had. Ryan Harris's ability to just hit back of a length.
CC's in, by the way.
It's impossible to fucking get anywhere near him. As Cooper Connolly bowls his first ball, which is good. Good signs for vice captain as hopefully he
I
snags
would
a wicket for us.
bloody hate to face Ryan Harris in his prime. My God.
Ben Hilfenhaus was harder to hit than Ryan Harris, weirdly. Because
Hilfenhaus used to move
Shock.
the ball a lot.
Because he angled the ball and pitched the ball like middle and leg, and everything nicked away from a right-hander. So, and that is a very nice shot. Hilf was harder to play. Fun fact about Ben Hilfenhaus: incredibly good Call of Duty player, like one of the best I think that I've ever played with. There was a day I think we had a day off, and everyone went out, and me and Hilf stayed back, and we ended up playing 24 hours straight of Call of Duty when we had a 2-day break. We were playing, it was like the special missions or something, and we got 3 stars for everything. So there you go. You gamers out there, Ben Hilfenhaus, very good COD player.
What was that shot?
What was your KD rating, Braino?
Oh, yeah.
No, we didn't play online. We played offline special missions, 3 stars. So we had to get 3 stars on every level.
Oh, it's stumped.
Oh, it's gone.
Cooper Conley, wicket, stumping. Yes, sir.
Does that lock in the loophole for you?
He's giving it a wide.
Yeah, you can still give it a wide.
Wide stumping is fine.
That's fine.
That's out.
Okay, geez.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't even know.
Take the wide, take the stumping, -19. Thanks for coming.
Anyway, I'm still confused. Did you see the shot before? What was Jilks attempting with that
Don't
reverse
ask those
sweep?
questions.
Nah, that's
Did they
why
not
he's
give it?
walking off now.
What's going on here?
What's going on here?
It's a
What is
wide.
the
You
time
can
to
get
come
stumped
back?
off a wide. What's
You
he
can get
talking
stumped
about?
off a wide.
Was
What's
he
Warner
back?
talking
He's out.
about here?
He's clearly out.
No, it's not back. What the hell?
What's going on here?
What are we doing here?
No, that's out.
Yeah, it's out.
Bat didn't get
There's
back over the line.
No part of the bat behind the line. He's out.
So what's David Warner doing?
Okay.
I don't understand what he's
I
trying
don't
to do
think
there.
Warner knew the rules. It's Ollie Davies walking in, by the way. So, good call on that.
Fair enough. I think, to be fair, Billings is probably a lot more versatile in different situations with 4, 5, 6 overs to go. So it makes sense to send Ollie out now, try and lift the run rate, and then let Billings bring it home.
He only bats one way too, Ollie Davies, and that's 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he'll go for ball one here. He'll really try and take on Coop.
It sounded like, and Kai might be right, Warner spraying the 12th man for not getting drinks or gloves out quick enough. That's probably more realistic, I think.
Oh, that's such a Warner thing to do. Yep.
Oh, good bloke status confirmed.
Anyway. The amount of times that these players get drinks and get gloves now is ludicrous. Like, absolutely insane. They'll get a new pair of gloves every 4 to 5 overs at test level.
Yeah, right.
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. I got to run the drinks for the first day of the Sydney test against India in 2010-11. And Zampa and I were doing the drinks, 12th and 13th man. And we ran out like 22 pairs of gloves to Michael Clark on that day when he got that 329.
Oh,
22 different pairs of gloves across a 90 over day.
My God.
Bloke wouldn't have shouted you a beer at the end of the day either.
Oh, I was pretty keen to get out of there, to be honest. It was like an hour and a half trip home for me. So, and I wasn't needed for day 2, thankfully. So,
yeah, gotcha.
Cooper Conley seems to be bowling all right here. Yeah.
Really, really good over by Coop. One for, what was it, 8 off that
8 for 8 off his over. Yep.
So that takes his score up to 73, I believe. 76 now. So for those of you that have the VC on Cooper Conley, is 76 enough for you to take that loop? Let us know in the chat.
I'm going to say it is. I think
take it.
We see last week, Jamie Overton played 2 games and didn't get 70.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Chief played 2 games, didn't get 70. It's just when you've got points on the table like that you can take, I think it'd be silly to turn them away in a single week as well. Because we saw what Wes Agar did tonight when he got his 4. That can happen realistically. So I think you need to take the loop. And hopefully for most people, they have Doran and Harper. And with Harper playing the second last game, he plays tomorrow. Doran playing the last game. That allows you to use the VC or the captaincy loop with Doran on field and still get Harper's points. The 3 points he'll probably get you tomorrow.
100%. Davies is the replacement for Bancroft. Yes.
I think moving forward, though, it might be the question. Like, does that happen from next week? I'd assume that he comes straight back into that lineup.
Yes.
You would think so, yeah.
They probably run the exact same thing as what they're running right now with this top 5, you'd think.
Yeah. So Kelly bowling his third over. He's been pretty economical, only going for 12 so far.
He's been really good.
Yep.
Oh, we got Dan Christian in the bib doing a bit of an interview here for Fox. Good on him for
apparently
actually.
He wasn't allowed to take the field, Braino.
Yeah, I saw that afterwards, which makes sense. Look, he obviously wouldn't have been on the team sheet. So,
the Scorchers are doing a really good job here, just slowing down the Thunder here and increasing the run rate. They now need 83 off 51 balls. This is really going to come down to the last couple of overs. The thing in the Thunder's back pocket that they've got handy right now is batsmen in the shed. They're only 2 down. They can afford to take a couple of calculated risks deadly.
I think so, but at the same time, you're not as deep in the batting order with 2 of your better bats going down. Like you bring in another all-rounder who hasn't played a Big Bash game. He's still young. Like you probably don't trust him over a guy like, I don't even know who the one after Sam's was.
Well, it's going to be Sam Billings. It's going to be Shafane Rutherford.
Yeah, then it'd be Green, and then
Chris Green.
I don't even know if you bring him in after that.
Okay.
Tricky. But yeah, with players who can go straight away that we know, Shafane Rutherford, he hasn't really kicked off in BBL, but we know what he's capable of. He can score runs pretty quickly when he wants to. And if he just goes straight away, then yeah, they could chase this down pretty well.
Do you know what? It might be the thing that Rutherford needs.
It probably is.
Because he's been quite defensive with his batting so far. Yep, you've got to go in and you've got to go. And that's his game. Yeah, being aggressive. He's probably just been a little too watchful.
Yep. I feel like once Sam Billings gets in, he'll probably stay there the rest of the innings. He's very safe, he'll go for a run of ball maybe a bit more.
As Davies charges down the track.
And then the other person.
Yep.
And the other person who's in with him, if it's not Warner, will just be, he'll just tell him go. Do what you want.
The Billings last 2 innings against Perth at Perth, he hit an 88 off 52 rocks, I think it was, and then a 28 off 24 or something. So he doesn't mind batting against Perth in Perth, which most batsmen probably wouldn't, to be fair. It's usually a pretty nice wicket to bat on.
None for 15 off 2.5 overs for Kelly. This is really nice from him.
Yeah, he's been
doing a really good job.
He'll get his 4th.
Yep.
Freo Girl asking for an update on the weather for the Canes Strikers match. At the moment, it doesn't look too bad. I think it's a 20% chance of rain around the time of the game.
It's improving. Yeah, it's improving.
Yeah. I think we'll see a full game or pretty close to a full game there, thankfully. Weebkin also, Kai Broom, Weebkin averages 47 at under 19 ODI level.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he was the Australian under 19 captain.
Yeah, under 19 captain. He's really good.
Right. Yep. So did he come through with Beardman, Constas in that crew?
I think either them or a year ahead. Oh, a year behind, sorry.
I think he's a year behind.
Okay.
I think.
So he's young.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. As the Thunder take the surge, this will be interesting. As we said before, it either brings wickets or lots of runs.
Mm-hmm.
Davies isn't exactly seeing them too well, as we see Dorf into bowl the first over of the power surge.
That's sort of expected. You'd think Morris bowls the other one.
Or Ty.
They do need to get Ty overs. Has he had 1 or 2? I think he's had 2. Yeah, it'd be Morris. They'll just stick to their guns, you'd reckon.
You think so?
Bit of pressure on Warner here.
Yeah, for sure.
And we still haven't seen Aaron Hardy bowl. So, Voges was talking a little bit about the fact they were hoping that he was a chance to bowl in the upcoming matches. So, obviously not bowling tonight by the looks of things. Do we pick him up? Is Aaron Hardy a target when he starts bowling? As soon as you see him bowling over, are we looking at him?
I'm worried. And for the reason being that, as Warner runs a nice 2 there, we saw he played that reverse sweep for 4 earlier in this game, and he grabbed straight at his side. If he's doing that batting, then he's not going to be bowling.
Yeah,
And at that price, he's too expensive.
Yep. I think you've got to think he probably would be a batsman only if you're going to purchase him, I would assume. So, yeah, it makes it a bit tricky, doesn't it? You've got to lean into... And again, we've bought batsman only. I bought Chris Lynn at 129K, and Aaron Hardy could very much be 120K next week.
Mm-hmm.
So we know he can do it. Just the injuries that are lingering at the moment for him make it a bit of a concern.
Really nice in swinging Yorker there by Berendorf to Warner with... Was it one or a leg by up? They've given him runs, so
it is
good over so far from the Dorf.
90% chance of rain for that Hobart game down to a 40% chance at the minute. So looking good.
Okay.
On
looks like Ollie Davies wasn't picked this game because he's recovering from the flu. So
yeah, it seemed a bit weird that he got dropped. I don't know. It's just not the like. It wouldn't be the one.
And out. What a catch! What a catch by Finn Allen. Sticks the hand out and grabs that nice at a deep gully / backward point. Berendorf with a wicket.
31
Unfortunately,
points.
Davies has to go. Nice catch, Finn Allen. Stick another 10 points on the end of your score, Braino.
I'll stick 31 on
And
mine.
deadly. Yeah.
I'll stick 31.
yeah, that's true because you get the Berendorf wicket there. So that's a nice little stack for you. 31 with the dot and the wicket. And that's the way super coaches think, isn't it? We're not thinking, oh, that's a good wicket. We're thinking, how many points did I just make off that play? Very nice. Berendorf will get himself up to what, 26?
Yep.
With that wicket?
Yep.
And hopefully find himself an economy rate bonus after this over as well if he can get through it unscathed. But I tell you what, Finn Allen, 2 games in a row, people are going to be talking about him, and I'm going to remind every single person how high I was on him in the preseason. Disregard the first four games. It doesn't matter, or first 3 games. It's all good. He came good eventually.
Anyway, just quickly back to Ollie Davies now that he's out. It's not too much of a point talking about him. But yeah, it's not really the person you take out for if you're going to bring in Nicaratis, is it? Like Nicotarius, like it's just it's sort of weird that he was picked. Like it didn't seem right to me. Like I would have thought Ollie Davies had done something before he would come in.
Yeah, you think so?
It just didn't seem that Ollie Davies would get dropped for him. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Obviously, illness makes a lot more sense than omission.
Are we going upstairs?
No, it's not out, but it's a throw.
Not out? They're going upstairs. So
they're going upstairs.
For those of you that are behind the coverage, Billings has gone to angle that down to third man. It's been fielded and a direct hit. I think he's just home.
I think
he's all right. He's too good of a cricketer to let himself get out like that.
No, he's setting up for the next ball. He knows he's fine.
Was that Matt Kelly there with the arm?
He's well in.
So at the moment, Berendorf needs to go for 1 run or less off his last 3 balls to get the minimum economy rate bonus. So pretty tough ask for him.
Possible.
We know that you love the Dorf.
It is possible for him.
Anything is possible.
Absolutely.
Anything is possible.
David Warner on 74
he's gone for
at the moment.
Edge that. Where's that going?
It's overhead.
It's gone for 4.
Yeah, there goes Dorf's economy rate bonus. Still 7 overs left in the innings, though. And that was well bowled as well. Changed his pace, rolled his fingers on it. Batsman was coming at him, and he just got lucky there, nicking one over third man for 4. So what's the equation here? They need 73 or 43 balls. They're well in this, I think.
Yeah, still. Yep. They've still got some big hitters in the sheds.
They do.
Shafane Rutherford needs to come in next for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
This can be, I think you said it earlier, Horse, this can be probably the game where, he can find himself some form like Finn Allen did last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone again.
This is going to be a question for the end of the over. And Billing straight down the ground, 4 runs. So he's just finished that over with 4-4. That takes the Thunder to 3 for 109 with 7 overs remaining. What's that? 69 off 42.
What's that? 7 overs? 69 runs. 7 overs. 10 and over. A little bit less than 10 and over. That's very doable in this kind of stage of cricket.
For sure.
10 and over is very, very doable. You probably think you're very well in with a chance to finish this off if you're keeping it within 10 and over in a chase.
Yep. Deadly, your top 5 trading targets for next week's double that has the Thunder on it.
I'm just having a bit of a look. Number 1's Chris Green.
Yep.
Number 2, I'd probably still say Wes Agar, even if you don't even if you have him.
Yep.
Ferguson. I already have him, and then Ferguson's probably 3. And then after that, it's hard for Thunder players. I'm sort of looking at just an extra person with a good role that's at a discounted price from what they were before. So I'm looking at maybe even I don't even know, a Chowdhury if you haven't got him still, something like that. I don't know. It's pretty hard to predict without the last 2 games.
Yep. As Lance Morris just offers up an absolute dolly half volley. Warner smacks it straight back past the umpire for 4. He's now on 49.
Yeah, those 3 are the main 3 for me. Those 3 bowlers, and if you trust Warner, go ahead as your 4th option. But I don't want to take the risk on it.
Braino, do you want to throw anyone else in there?
No, I think you're pretty spot on. I think Green is the best option. Ferguson up there from a high upside perspective. I think without Sam's there, his role at the death is going to be locked in.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got then Billings, who at the price, I really don't love buying a keeper / bat at 160, 170k. But it's
going to be expensive next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit too expensive for me. I think maybe Wes Agar, if you missed him this week, obviously he's not going to hurt you too much now, only getting 4. So Wes Agar, if we look at his price now, he's only going to make...
gone in the deep. 49
13K?
for Warner.
Who caught it?
I'm not sure. It was off Morris. Maybe might be Spores, I think.
He has been fielding a deep square.
Yeah, Hobson.
Yeah, that's a big wicket. Warner gone for 49.
That's huge. Wes Agar will only make about 13k, a little bit more than 13k this week, which means he'll be around that 159, 160k mark to purchase next week. So I don't think he's out of reach at that price based on the role that he's got.
Yeah.
But him and Ferguson are the pick of the bowlers along with Chris Green. They're the 3 guys that I'd go to. I don't love picking batsmen only anymore.
Yep.
I just don't. As good as David Warner's been, it cops one good ball and he's done. I'd probably be looking, if you didn't get Chris Jordan, you didn't get Nikhil Chowdhury this week, they're probably going to have a nice break even next week. So one of those guys would be handy as well. Probably Chowdhury.
Yeah, you're right. I'll throw in one more, Finn Allen, if you're willing to join the ride.
Sorry, I thought that was a given. Didn't need to mention that one.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, if you're willing to take the ride, then Finn Allen. Yeah, he's served up quite well recently.
He's going to have a very juicy break even. I give you the red hot tip.
Don't want to jump on the Finn Allen train.
I can't. I've got to stick with Matt Short and the shit that he's doling up at the moment.
He'll come good eventually. Here comes Shafane Rutherford, though. He's the talk of the town. Surely there needs to be a time where he steps up, and this is the ultimate stage for him to actually prove his worth to the Thunder.
Spot on, mate. Flat wicket, coming through nicely. Take him a couple of balls to get used to the pace and bounce of this wicket, and hopefully he takes off. But your man, Morris Braino, 2 for 19 off almost 3 overs now.
He's been good, hasn't
he?
I'll throw another question sort of to branch off with that last one in there. With the strikers bye next week, you selling or holding Overton?
Fuck, that's a tough question because there's a lot of.
Because if you sell, that's a straight. You get Bartlett.
There's 2 parts.
40K.
There's 2 parts to this. If you own Matt Short and Jamie Overton, you can't hold both.
Yeah, I agree.
And then also you've got to look at how many other strikers do I have? Do I have Henry Thornton? Do I have Doggett? That's the problem. If you've got 4 of these guys, 2 of them need to go.
Yep.
I think you need to hold one of Matt Short or Jamie Overton. My preference would be holding Jamie Overton. Just the role is better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at a point where I think I'm probably going to hold him just because of the role.
Yeah.
Just reminded Mick of the buy, and now he's thinking shit. Now he's worried about Sean.
Well, no, I know full well that's why I didn't bring in Doggett this week because
Yeah.
I've still got to get rid of Baisley as well, so I don't want to carry too much Deadwood.
I've still got to get rid of Ollie Pope. So yeah, I'm bloody annoyed with that. But yeah, that becomes a question. If you have Overton and or Short, you sell one of them. You could go into a Bartlett or a Berendorf or someone like that. Even a Nisa if he's back. I don't know. Just someone along those lines.
Yeah.
And still get 50k in the bank to use for your other trades. Even go and upgrade somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll work out well for you if you're willing to take the risk and not have him for the last couple of rounds.
I don't want to get our hopes up, but I did just see Cooper Connolly take his hat off and run towards the bowler's end.
I don't have Cooper Connolly, so I don't really care.
Okay.
Nah, what? Huh? What'd you say?
That was a really good catch by Finn Allen there at backward point.
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
During the power surge.
Oh, that's a great surge for the Scorchers.
2 for 17 in that surge. Spot on,
yeah,
mate.
Thunder.
As we see,
really
Cooper Connolly, he's on the bowl.
They'll definitely look to target here, and wickets could definitely come.
He's going around the wicket too.
Yeah.
So it's
this is the one Shafane will try and go after. You'd think.
You would
really
think that he has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like he still hasn't gotten used to the pace and the bounce of the Australian wickets, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I needed money 2 weeks ago, AJ. I had to get rid of him. I had no one else to get rid of. Because Finn Allen had lost me too much money and had to get rid of him.
Yep. As Shafane,
and he's gone for
just clears short cover, and that's gone for 4.
Yeah, he's
very, very lucky.
Just need Coop to snag another wicket here, and I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking while you're going, Nath. You think Shafane just really goes at Coop here? He's got to, right?
Yeah, I think he has to. It's the perfect platform for them to drag
really
that run rate back and make it a bit more comfortable for him.
Yep, and he's doing just that. He's trying to pick him.
We need one more person here to join the live, and we've got 300 live at the moment at about 12:30 in the morning. So
we did just crack it, yeah.
Jeez.
So thank you to those that have jumped in and helped us talk through and commentate to this game. Having over 300 in the live chat at past midnight here in the Eastern States is it's phenomenal, and we appreciate your support.
For sure. It's been good. It's been good fun. Obviously, we're not going to go live every single game, but
no,
I think there's a platform inside the Discord where you can listen to us, just talk a little bit of shit and maybe a little bit less formal, just listen to us have a chat without the video format. So there is a possibility for us to do that in the future as well. So I'm sure we'll work something out so that we can make this a bit more regular than normal.
Yep. The Perth game works, or the games that are in Perth work pretty well for us, especially that later start. So
yeah,
I think there's 2 more that happened this year.
I think so, yeah. There's an Adelaide game coming up in a couple of rounds, I think, that we'll probably give it a crack.
8:30 or something start time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one has beat Lance Morris, and it's just trickled away for 4.
Yeah, so Shafane, 10 off 4 balls.
SuperCoach Edge asking for the code for the Unlimited or Open League. It is 650202. So for anybody who's missed that, 650202, we've nearly cracked 1,000 people in that league as well. So
yep. And once we do crack 1,000, a random person is going to be chosen. And what do they win, Braino? A piece
in the
of
top
merch?
10. Whoever finishes in the top 10 will randomize the top 10, and you'll win a piece of Insight Fantasy Sports merch. In addition to the SuperCoach Champions ring that we're giving to the winner and the squeeze pack every single week.
SuperCoach wise, shocking over for Cooper Connolly.
Yeah.
Not
Great
one
bonus,
single
goodbye
point
for
in
Coop.
it, and really killed his economy if he bowls a third.
Yeah, I reckon that's done him. So they need 50 runs, 5 overs, exactly 10 and over from here.
I has 2, Berendorf has 1, Morris has 1, I think Kelly has 1. That's probably it.
That's it. That's the 5 overs left,
Yeah.
Finn Allen still has 4 as well, just in case you're wondering.
Give him the
4
gloves.
catches left.
Oh, he was
going again.
out cold turkey. And they've run an overthrow.
Jeez.
Oh, that's poor.
Who was that? Probably would have been Ashton Turner. He usually fields
Yeah,
there.
it looked like Ashton Turner.
Yeah, he usually fields there.
Tell us you own Ashton Turner without telling us, IJ.
Jeez.
Probably 3 overs left for the tournament in the next 3
Opens
years.
up.
Balls
That's
up
caught.
and caught by
Matt Kelly.
Matt Kelly. AJ Ty with his first wicket.
He was on your pod list, wasn't he, Horse? AJ Ty?
Yep. Yep,
Bill
definitely.
Bogan
He knows how to
wicket.
bowl these latter overs really well. Changes up his pace. I said a couple of times, it reminds me, for those of you that are old enough to remember Ian Harvey that used to play for the Vicks, lots of different variances to the slower ball, and he does bowl it really well. He's an international T20 cricketer back in his days, a bit older now, but still knows how to bowl a really nice slower ball. So gets rid of the real danger man here in Sam Billings, 13 off 9. Thunder are now 1 for 30.
Interested to
It
see if
really
the young
does
bloke comes in
rely
now.
on Rutherford now, doesn't it?
Really interested to see if the young bloke comes in now or if it's Green.
It's got to be Green.
It is.
It has to be. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. I'm interested to see where Weebgen's going to come in if he does.
What a story it'd be if Wiebken came in and won him the game as the sub.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That'd be
Chris Green's
gorgeous.
no slouch with the bat either.
No, God, no, he's great.
For anybody watching as well, we've obviously got the SuperCoach World Cup that is wrapping up in the next, however long until NBL finishes. I think we've got 5 more weeks of NBL. So we'll be wrapping up the SuperCoach World Cup, which is all 4 disciplines of SuperCoach. If you didn't get involved this year, it'll only be around $25 to enter for the full seat or for the full year, for the full calendar year. And you get involved in all 4 of the SuperCoach sports. We combine your ranks together to give you a total overall rank. So that'll be bigger and better this year as well. We've had a year to test it out, had about 80 people get involved. So put your hand up and get involved. Deadly, how are you going in the SuperCoach World Cup, mate? Because you like to fancy yourself as a pretty good SuperCoacher across most formats.
Oh,
Just asking.
I was trying to say
I did all right in every single format except NBL. NBL's really killing me at the minute. And I sort of prided myself on my NBL before that. It was my best finish in 2023 with the first season. I finished 200th or something. Yeah, now I'm like 2000th and it's not looking crash hot, but I think I'm like 15th in it or something. And yeah, some of those top guys, they've put up some really, really good numbers I've seen.
Yeah, shout out to Jake, I think, who's leading at the moment, and Kane Anderson's up there as well.
Kane Anderson's had a cracker SuperCoach season across all formats.
Yeah, he has. He's been really good. And I think, just a cheeky shout out. Whisperer, who was leading, he was up there in the AFL for a very long time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's top 1,000.
He was.
Top 1,000. Yep.
That was, and then he finished below me in the AFL. So shout out to Whisperer. Somehow he ended up at around 40K. I think he burnt all of his trades, max traded until he ran out.
I must have not got Chesser in.
He didn't get Chesser. That's what it was. But no, it's been fun. The World Cup's been fun. We've got a nice little twist on another little NRL competition across a multidiscipline competition for Fantasy, SuperCoach, Dream Team, and Mixer. So that'll be fun. We'll do something a little bit different next year. But yeah, World Cup will be back bigger and better next year. So if you want to get involved in that, stay tuned. Join the Discord, and we'll usually keep you up to date in there.
And for those of you that are interested in the AFL footy tipping, we're going to be running our own footy tipping competition inside our Patreon. Condition is you need to be a member of the Patreon to be involved in that. But to join our Patreon, it is free. So description will be below. Just click on that. Help yourselves to it.
Beauty.
And we see AJ Ty finishes over. Pretty solid over. There's a wicket in it. Not really much to talk about, really. This Thunder are just going to settle back in with Greener on strike to Kelly bowling his final over.
Chris Green on 107 at the moment, SuperCoach points. He can build on that. If he gets to 20 here, which there's every chance if he carries him home, he will get a 20 and an economy strike rate bonus, I should say. Mm-hmm. There's a chance here that he could be looking at 140 plus.
A big game.
Yeah. And I'd be bloody sad if that happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because he's going to go up a good 30K next week and be very hard to reach. 100. So where's the marker at the moment, boys, where you would say, no, I'm not buying Chris Green at that price? Because at the moment he's 130K. He's looking like he's going to gain about 20.
I think you've got to get him in.
If it gets to it, I'm selling Overton for him. Like, if it gets real bad, like, I'm...
Fair call. Yeah, fair call.
He's a no-brainer to me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think he's a must-have as well.
Takes wickets, economy, bats real high. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, batting at 7's nice. I mean, that's like one spot lower than Overton, really. It's a similar role.
It's literally Will Sutherland's role with 4 overs guaranteed of spin. And that's a great shot.
Rutherford. Yep, Rutherford finds his... Is that his first 6 for the tournament? Yeah, get your guesses into the chat. I reckon 70. That's only... I'm going to say 83.
84.
It's 72. It's a small boundary.
Yeah, it looks small, doesn't it? Where's Foxy? Foxy's probably gone to sleep. It's 12:30. Here we go.
You boys
must only 72.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Pretty close, Horse.
What was it? 72?
72.
Okay, I said 84.
Oh, did you? Someone...
Just to be one more than you, just in case it was over that.
70.
Fair. Deadly said 70. Okay.
Yeah.
I said 70.
Yeah.
It's a short boundary.
But
they've got stuck an extra 1 from overthrows there.
This is what we wanted to see from the Everston, isn't it, Horse?
This is exactly what we wanted out of him. Yep. He doesn't have to think here. He just gets to play his natural game.
This is how it should be. And this is probably how they wanted it to be with him batting this low.
And you know what? He's just got an economy rate bonus, which is max at the moment.
Max, yep.
Oof. Could be a buy.
It could be a cheeky buy at 80k.
I don't like it. I feel like it just has to be in this situation for him to score points.
I think that when you look at a batsman only, it's always centered around the price. I'm not buying a David Warner at 160k who can nick off to a good one early, but I could be tempted by an 80k Shafane Rutherford. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you get a guy at this quality, international quality, so cheap, it feels like a bit of a free swing, especially with the flex this year with your worst score dropping out.
We could almost go sideways from James Bazley to Shafane Rutherford.
That's if you still have James Bazley. I fucking punted him 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, look at the dumb guy here. As Chris Green just backs away, slaps it over, mid-off. That's another 4.
And poor old Matt Kelly's beautiful 3-over spell that he had is now not looking so great.
What's he gone for? 29 off 3.5. So he needs to stay.
He's done 13
if he gets hit for 4, he loses his economy rate bonus completely. Yep.
Yeah, he's done 13 off the over after having nearly the max bonus.
And that's the negatives of bowling death overs and end of innings overs, is you can lose your economy rate bonus very quickly, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what, if the Thunder get up here, that's a sign of their resilience and chemistry that they have within the crew after 2 prominent players going down not 2 hours ago.
Yep, 100%. The Thunder have looked head and shoulders above what they've ever been able to put together over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons even.
Yeah.
Since the old Michael Hussey Sydney Thunder days, they've been pretty poor.
And after that 3-year losing streak.
Yeah.
Longest losing
19
streak ever.
19 games or whatever it was.
19 in a row.
Yeah, no good. As a Sydney Thunder player, supporter, it's nice. It's nice to see them playing some good cricket for once. So let's hope Shafane Rutherford can find some.
Who do you support in the NRL, Braino?
Balmain. Isn't that what you call him?
Yeah.
Balmain. No, I'm a West Tigers supporter, but there's a bit of trouble at the West Tigers apparently at the moment. When isn't there trouble at the West Tigers?
What's happened at Balmain now?
There's a bit of infighting at the board with the West Tigers, the West Magpies, and the Balmain Tigers, obviously a merger club. So there's a bit of infighting at a board level at the moment with the Balmain Tigers wanting to merge elsewhere.
That's been going on since the early 2000s.
The problem's always been the board, mate. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
As we see, Morris just straight through Chris Green. Too much pace with his first ball, the over.
Yeah. So you probably
28 off 17 now.
Bowls this over. You think probably Berendorf next one, and then Ty to finish it. Ty always bowls the 20th.
Should be, yeah.
I
mean, Berendorf did bowl the 20th a couple of times this year already, so there's every chance.
And that's
no, he has dropped an absolute sitter.
Ashton Turner, what have you done?
You will not read about it. Holy heck, that's as much as the good catches we've had this game. BBL. That is the worst drop we've had.
That will lose the Scorchers this game. That's shocking.
That's
He didn't even go through his
Holy
hands or anything.
heck.
You just kicked it.
He just kicked it. It didn't even go through his
Holy
hands.
fuck.
That's bad.
Oh, that's
What's he doing?
I don't know.
That is so bad.
And that would have given Morris 3
Great
wickets and his bonus for 3 wickets as well.
I'm not listening to the commentary, but it'd be interesting to see what they're saying right now about that. I wonder if Michael Hussey at home is already trying to rage trade him out of his SuperCoach team. So the amount of
I think
Michael Hussey must be paid a mozza
rage trade him out
by
of
the
his
Daily
Supercoach
Telly.
team.
He loves talking about his SuperCoach team on the commentary, doesn't he? Oh,
Oh,
Big fan of it.
Hussey.
Loves it. Just froths for it, doesn't he? It's
Well, I
unreal.
mean, Shane Warne was the main kind of advocate for SuperCoach, wasn't he? He was a representative of SuperCoach at
He
that
was.
level.
Yep.
So Mike Hussey trying to do a bit of service to SuperCoach and to Warney. Oh, they just keep playing this replay over
fine.
and
That's
over
gonna be
again.
And that's out. That's a good catch by
Great
Berendorf.
grab. Dorf, great grab.
It didn't cost
Morris
him too
gets
much in
3.
the end.
Morris gets his 3 and his 3-wicket bonus.
But you know what? That's a tough catch. Running back, full tilt, sticks the mitts out,
That's a good catch, yeah.
and lets the crowd know about it too.
Now, does the kid
Fucking Morris, man.
come in?
I'm just annoyed at myself and not backing my gut on Morris.
You know what?
I should have done it.
Wes Agar comes in and gets a quick 20.
Stop it.
Things we'd love to see.
What did I say, Horse, before we hopped online and went live? I said, should I just do Finn Allen VC for the vibes tonight for the commentary?
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. And then I also didn't bring in Morris for Chowdhury. So I'm very annoyed at myself for not backing my gut tonight. Very
Here he is.
frustrating.
Hugh Weebgen comes in. Thunder needing 26 off 14. Debut for the club. Probably didn't even expect. We definitely didn't expect to be playing tonight.
Not at all.
Now
Here he is.
He's debuting in the Big Bash.
Jeez, he looks
Imagine
young.
the scenes.
Looks like he still shops in the kids section at bloody Target.
He's younger than
Have a
me.
look at him.
He's 20. He's younger than me.
Oh no, he's
Oh my
going to run
God.
himself out. Oh,
Oh no.
settle down, kiddo. Settle down.
Yeah, go have a chat to him. Calm the nerves.
Yeah, he's a bit nervous, isn't he? Got the
He
first
wants to
game
get off the
jitters.
mark, doesn't he?
He didn't want to be on
Yeah.
strike.
He was
Jeez.
probably just thinking, fuck, that's a nice little cover drive there. If I can steal a run from that. He did look pretty good, though.
Then it's bowling straight away from Lance
who's
Morris
your-
is not easy to catch up to.
I'll wait for this ball as Morris bowls to Wibgen and straight through the keeper. Clearly too quick for him.
Yeah.
4 overs, 3 for 22 for Morris. He's going to score
Well
very well, SuperCoach wise there. Deadly. As we wait, we've got 2 overs left. Thunder need 26 at 13 and over. Who's your pick from here?
Scorchers. Berendorf and Ty have too much class. Even to come after this, there's the batting ranks for the Thunder after Hugh isn't great, is it? Like the bottom order bats aren't fantastic, are they? Lockie Ferguson can't handle a stick to save his life if he gets in. So I'm backing the Scorchers in. I think they got too much class.
Lance Morris scored 96 SuperCoach points.
6 break
Thanks.
even.
Thanks for letting me know. Cheers.
You're welcome. Shafane Rutherford is currently on 59.
Ooh.
Okay. What's his break even? Shafane Rutherford. Let's quickly have a look.
I will-
65. So he still
Fine.
loses cash this week.
He's still going to lose cash at the moment.
Potentially.
If you can't get to 3 guns next week, I tell you what, he's going to be very popular.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't mind it, to be honest. The more I think
No,
about it,
me neither.
just to get
Me
Joel
neither.
Davies out of my team, I'm sick of him.
You don't have John
And you know what?
Paisley.
The beauty of it is, right, when
Takes
we're looking
it
at Thunder
worse.
players moving forward, for the rest of the season, the Thunder play first, which means that every single player you pick from the Thunder, you could potentially use as an emergency loophole for the rest of the year. So the problem is Shafane Rutherford leaves, so you're going to have to trade him out after round 6's double. But yeah, there's a lot of interest in Thunder players for this double because you can then just keep him there and use him as your bench loot for the rest of
that's
the
right.
year.
Yeah. Well, getting Chris Green in this week, I'm not getting rid of him. He's staying for the rest of the season now after this.
Oh, that's a leading edge, and Wibgen is off the mark. Mum and Dad will be proud.
24 from 10.
Yeah. This is too much. Berendorf
chance.
just let me know about it too on the way past.
Mum and Dad wouldn't even be at the game.
Mum and Dad wouldn't have even known he's playing.
Yeah,
No.
probably not. Yeah, geez, they'd be asleep.
Yeah, he wouldn't even have a chance to message his mum and dad and say, "Hey, I'm playing." Like he'd just be running out there.
Oh my God.
Mum will wake up in the morning and, son, how'd you go running drinks last night?
Yeah.
Well, Mum, have I got a story for you?
Jeez.
Oh, come on, Rutherford.
Dorf,
You've
if we're
got
gonna
to
fucking-
Inside edge, yeah.
We're going to do this, Dorf. Can we at least get some wickets?
I would say something about economy rate bonus, but not.
You know what?
Oh,
Couldn't be.
He's gone
He's gone for
That's gone for 6, has it? No, it didn't even make it. My
Probably
screen's
2.
framing 2. So I danced down the pitch and over backward point for 2.
How was the outfield at Marvel the other night? Like you hit a nice shot along the carpet and it just didn't even get there. Stop still. That's probably the worst prepared ground in Australia in terms of like domestic cricket.
Mm-hmm.
To a point where they've got to decide: are we serious about playing cricket, having cricket, or hosting cricket at this ground?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, or do we
How
just
many
go?
more
You know what?
games
This
are
is just a footy ground now. It's fine, no problem.
They're behind the innings counter. So
That's got to be a wide, doesn't it?
Nope. Dot ball.
Given it
21 of 7 balls left.
The next game
it's
at
gone
Marvel
over.
is on the 12th, and it's the second edition of the Melbourne Derby. Surely
How do we
they'd have
think?
a
What do we
nice-
think
Oh,
before
he
this
has
game?
hit that well, really well. That's gone for 6.
Oh,
the young fella.
kilometres.
The young fella has just put Berendorf into the stands. So
Kilometres high.
the Thunder, they need 15 off the last over. You've absolutely ruled him out, Deadly. Braino, as a Thunder supporter, can they do it?
What do we got? 6 balls left, 15 runs. Shafane Rutherford on 14. Sorry, is it 15? Yeah, 15 runs.
Game on.
6 balls. Shafane Rutherford on strike to AJ Ty. I reckon they can. I reckon they can
Game on.
absolutely do it. If Shafane Rutherford hits a boundary off the first ball here, we're well and truly on.
He's bowling 6 slow balls. They've
That's
got to have
fine.
another
We've got
fielder
in the
in.
morning. Hey, Mum, you wouldn't believe it. I hit Jason Berendorf for 6.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I'll
you
leave.
didn't.
I hit
No.
a T20 international bowler for 6.
This is unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into the last over. And what a game we've picked as well, you boys. This has gone right down to the wire.
It's been good fun. It's and look, you know, when you have games at Optus Stadium, you expect the Perth Scorchers to play pretty well and be convincing winners. But the Thunder have been quite good. You know, I'm trying to take my Thunder hat off right now, but they've surprised me a little bit. And I think we did predict 180 to 160. I'm pretty close. You know, they've definitely exceeded expectation, I think, in this game, especially for them as well. They would have wanted to go out there and prove a point against the heavyweights of the competition.
Oh,
So,
he's been dropped. Very hard catch.
Sweet chili grain waves for those of you asking at home.
they're my favourite chips of all time. Very well played.
Love them.
They're the go-tos.
All right, so here we go. AJ Ty in the bowl. And he's dropped him.
Yeah, Deadly's about 10,
yeah,
15 seconds in front of us.
That's gone for 2. Wowee. Luck, fortune favours the brave. Rutherford 2. Braino, he's clipped that off his feet and's gone through a diving Lance Morris.
That's a tough catch. It's either poor positioning or a really tough catch. So, you know, I'll give him the benefit.
That's unlucky.
Unreal.
I'll
All
let
right,
you
here we
catch
go.
up.
So in the bowl the second. Oh, my God. It's gone for 4. He's edged it through slips.
This is game on here. This is
Wow,
absolutely
nine
game
on
on.
now.
9 or 4
Holy
balls.
Heck.
Now, what do we think Andrew Ty does for this next ball? He's gone full twice now. How's he playing this next ball if you're the bowler?
Slower ball, full outside off.
Yeah. Similar.
I think everything needs
That's
to be off
done,
pace.
yep.
You need to make him create the pace. You're just giving him way too many options here when you're
Yep.
bowling full like
That's a
that.
good ball.
I'll tell you what. Super
He's
over
put a
might
better
be on
pace
here.
behind that, to be fair. Yeah, 137. Jesus Christ.
Bent his back, old Andrew
Oh,
Ty. He's going
yeah.
to need a massage tonight.
Top ball.
That's probably the quickest
Top
he can bowl.
Yeah, interesting. Jasper, he's just left one outside off stump, just thinking, I've got a bit more time. I'll be right. 3 balls left.
Oh
no.
Overhead.
It's gone for 4.
It's gone for 4.
Rutherford has just
5 off
muscled
2.
that over mid-off, and it's gone for 4. 5 runs, 2 balls.
Another
Holy
quick one from
heck.
Ty, 138.
What a game.
Sort of in
This
the
is
slot
edgy
too.
of
There's not much
seat
going on
type
with
of
that one.
stuff.
Shafane with the max strike rate bonus at the moment on 35. Sitting on, what's that, 67?
Yep.
Not too
I
bad.
hate that delivery.
I'll tell you
Full
what,
pace in the slot.
5 runs, 2 balls. Is it too early to call super over?
This game
IJ's been calling a super over for 3 overs in the chat. I've just been ignoring
Oh, it's gone over the keeper. It's not going to go for a boundary, though. It's 2.
Jesus
Two
Christ.
3
Haven't
2 off the
taken
last ball for a super
leg
over.
by 3 to tie. No, 3 to win, 2 to tie.
Can someone
Wow.
explain to me what Matt Hurst was doing there? It looked like he just completely went with the symbols there. Just went straight through his hands.
Monkey symbols, yeah.
Not a wicket keeper.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, he's
Braino?
had an absolute fucking stinker, hasn't he, in this one? Yep.
Last ball, Braino. Your call, mate. Talk us
They
in.
need 3 off 1. I'm going to say they hit 2. I'm going to say they come back, and it's going to be a super over.
Give us the super over. Here we go. Ty runs in.
This
Bit
needs
of
to
a
be
Oh, it's
3
4!
wide.
He's hit it for 4.
It's gone for 4. They've won the game.
The Thunder have won it.
Shafane Rutherford
Shane
down to
Rutherford has
fine
won it with
leg.
his bat.
You wouldn't believe it.
Off the edge of his bat too. He has not even meant that at all. He's jammed a Yorker out. It's come off the inside edge and gone for 4. He seems pretty happy about it. Andrew Ty seems distraught, which is fair enough
The
when you bowl a
Thunder-
good ball in the
that
in the
might
block
be
hole.
the best win I've seen.
Oh, man.
Is there anything better than talking through a last ball win in a T20? Like, that is elite. And a shout out to Hugh Weebgen, who that 6 could
Yeah.
be the difference there.
That
From a young
would
guy,
be
19-year-old, who's just come into the league, or 20-year-old, who's playing his
Wouldn't even be
first game on
prepared to play
debut,
the game.
probably sitting in the stands thinking, yeah, I'm sweet, I'll run a few drinks tonight. He's come out, he's chucked the lid on, and he's hit Jason Berendorf for 6 to win a game. That is massive. That is insane.
Those wins are the type of wins that just pick everyone up too.
The Thunder absolutely deserve that win.
That is outstanding.
That's one of the best victories I've ever seen. Shafane Rutherford.
You know what, Swan Song?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You boys chose an absolute cracker to debut the Insight commentary. We couldn't have picked a better game.
Yeah, that was an absolute banger. And you know what? To be fair, I would have been asleep. 12:45. I've got a 6-week-old baby at home and I haven't slept that much, so I would have absolutely missed this game and been spewing I missed it live. So thanks for
Probably would have wake up with all
sticking
the
with us.
messages.
Yeah.
What
What have we got to look forward to, Braino, coming up?
From a BBL perspective, we'll probably try and commentate another couple of games before the end of the year. Any games that are basically starting after 8 o'clock, 8:30 is probably the ones that we can do because we have kids and we're trying to get them to sleep before we hop on. So obviously, we've got 4 or 5 rounds left of the BBL Supercoach season 2 and then footy season coming up. There's a bit happening, which is cool. But honestly, tonight has been, exceeded all of our expectations. I think we cracked 300 on the live, which is massive. So thank you to everybody who hopped on and listened to us dribble our obsession of not only BBL Supercoach, but just cricket in general. It's been good fun.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hopefully there's plenty more of this to come.
There absolutely is. And not just with cricket as well. The esports with basketball. AFL, we'll be doing some AFL commentary to start the year. Richmond Carlton, normally round 1. That'll be one that we'll get in and around. I'm not sure what the NRL boys will do in that space, but there is plenty going on in the Insight Fantasy Sports community. If you are not yet, it is free to join our Patreon. Click the link, jump in, make yourself an account. It's all free. Doesn't cost you a cent. You get stories from myself, Braino, write-ups, captain's choices, all that sort of jazz. If you want to pay the extra $6 a month, you can. It's a cup of coffee, and you get access to absolutely everything we do. We also use a WhatsApp chat group, and it's been pinging, hasn't it, Deadly? Lots of people in there, lots of like-minded people. Last week's winner letting us know who we should be trading in and who we should be trading out earlier today. just a really, really good community. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a part of it yet, I highly encourage you that you are, because it's not just about us. It's about you guys at home and trying to help everyone be as good at SuperCoach as you can be.
Absolutely. That'll do us, I think. It's time for some shut-eye. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll do this again in the near future. But, hopefully you got some points from that. And hopefully you're a Finn Allen owner, because that's where the kids have fun. Catch you later, guys. We will see you next time.
Not a chance, IJ. Not a chance. Staying for life.